to see an ever-changing news and computer terminology. Commodore news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
Hello and welcome to episode 220 of Zapped to the Past. I am Adrian Mills. I'm joined as always by Mr. Graham Raddings. If you haven't listened before, this is a podcast where we discuss games that are released for the Commodore 64. We are using the magazine Zap 64 as a monthly guide for the games to focus on, but we are in no way affiliated with Zap 64 itself. This week, we start our look at October 1992 and the first batch of games reviewed in issue 89 of Zap 64. I say batch. Of Zap 64, along with what was also going on in the UK singles and albums chart that month. Graham, it is the lowest amount of games we have ever seen. But does that mean it is quality over quantity for once? Or is it just a smaller amount of arse to wade through?
The games are officially running out. The penultimate issue of Zap magazine from September 92 was an altogether flimsy affair to say the least, with only a tiny amount of new C64 titles reviewed. It means we're definitely reaching Journey's End, and with it our hopes and dreams that the end of 1992 would bring some C64 masterpieces. So, in a month where the legendary 2D fighting video game Mortal Kombat was first released in the arcades by Midway Games, another month, and another plucky character enters the C64 gaming world to jump, collect and navigate more levels, platforms and hazards in a game type we've seen plenty of this year alone. This time the character is more unusual, but the game design certainly is not. So we suck it up and get into Nobby the Aardvark. It feels weird when I think back to the old podcast episodes when we had loads of games in each episode. It was certainly a lot to play, so you didn't have to, that's for sure. What is funny though, is that even though the number of games has decreased, the dog-egg ratio remains resolute. So while we prepare ourselves for the final countdown, we make a somewhat surprise and unwelcome visit to the webbed feet and fanged world of the veggie vampire duck, as we check out the troubled and some would say crappy sequel to a game that we never looked at before anyway. Yes, we avoid the stuff and shoot our sauce, at everyone, in Count Duckula 2. Wow, 2 whole new games to look at for this episode. You'd think that by 1992, the remaining C64 programmers would know exactly what they needed to do to create great games, and we prove in this episode that at least 50% of them clearly did. The others, not so much. Well, statistically speaking, there's a much higher chance of a game being good, isn't there?
There is, yeah. I mean, So, yeah, there is, because there's only 2. We've only got 2 games this week and 2 next week.
Only two.
There were only 4 games, 4 original games reviewed in this issue of Zap. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's very telling. I mean, this is the daft thing, right? Because you'd think this could have been, Adrian, couldn't it? It could have been the episode where we liked every game. Couldn't it? If all the episodes we've ever done, and maybe next week's is also, got the chance, could it be that this was one of those episodes where we're like, every single game's a hit? Yes, there's only 2 of them, so the chances were much higher, but it still couldn't even manage that.
No, it couldn't, even with just 2 games.
No.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah, then there's things to say, isn't there? There's things. I mean, if they was all really great, we'd be bored, wouldn't we? Really? We would be bored.
No, I'd be much bloody happier.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
It's the truth. But it is a new month, and so we know what that means. It means a look at cover.
Yes, the ever-diminishing returns of the Zap 64 covers.
So... Okay, so in this issue, and we'll go through in a moment, they've looked at every C64 car racing game reviewed.
Right, okay.
Hence the plethora of vehicles on the front there.
Yeah, there's quite a lot going on there, isn't there? There's different... and I suppose it's not a bad... I mean, it's in keeping with what they're doing now in the magazine, because they've got nothing else to talk about, so...
Yeah, no one's paying them for anything at this point. Elvira's money didn't go that far, but it's just a load of cars, isn't it? Crashing.
Well, if I didn't know any better, I'd almost say that's like if you asked an AI to come up with a cover for a Zap 64, it would have probably come up with that.
Yeah, in the style of Oliver Frey, please present it had something about cars. I mean, they're all exploding. I mean, all these cars, I don't know what's going on. They're not in the same race. I mean, it's just random cars. There's a blue one, there's a yellow one.
Well, yeah.
The red one.
I mean, you've got the Lotus there, the yellow Lotus. There's a Ferrari in there at the back.
Red Ferrari.
Is there some kind of Land Rover by the look of it, or a Jeep of some description? And then I don't know what it is that's exploding, but it's probably not good that it is. I see a Jeep somewhere in there as well. And he's got a helmet on, the old driver there. Intense eyes, of course.
Very intense eyes. I do want to draw your attention to, do you see that thing on the right? Now, it's cut it off slightly. Win a brilliant book TV.
What the hell is that?
It's a telly that's shaped like a weird...
obviously, I can see, I can read that.
But it's in the magazine, so I had a look at it in the magazine. It's shaped like an accordion.
Why did that even get made?
I don't know. I'll see if I can find the competition. And see if I can give you some details to it. But here it is. We throw the book at you. It's Your TV 2 from Philips.
Right, okay.
Fed up with who's going to it. Okay. I don't know. The book, it's called The Book, contains a host of very useful features, a swivel base and adjustable viewing angle. Make sure the viewer is in most comfy position. No more than 90-degree neck craning. No more 90 degree. There's also an inbuilt carrying handle.
Portable TV. A portable concertina TV.
Yeah.
Just when you think they can't merge things together to form unusual technology, they find a way at Philips, don't they? I mean, that's pretty special.
It's
now,
very strange,
the question for you is, are there any left out there? Because that sort of tech is the sort of thing that YouTube channels are invented for.
Yeah.
I found this retro musical television, I think, because if you first found that, you'd think it was a concertina television or an accordion TV, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
yeah.
So you get it. Eventually, if you open it, it did play accordion sounds, and you open it, hey, that's weird. To change the channel, you have to do that. You're going to put it on a TV. Oh, you got to do it 3 times. God help us with skies on 126. It just turns into a jig. Well, I quite like the idea of that.
Cleaning is facilitated by a removable front mask, and a handy cleaning anti-static kit is supplied by Philips.
I don't think it's a good idea to attach flexible kind of what even do you call it? What do they call that kind of accordion type thing in that material?
Accordion type, yeah. It says there's a dark glass screen for improved contrast, 40 pre-selections, 2 watts of music power, an on-screen display, full function remote control handset, and it also features a SCART socket.
I don't think where that is. I tell you what, though. I mean, let's be brutally honest. 2 watts isn't a word you'd associate with power. I mean, it's not. I had watches that had more powerful speakers and amplifiers in than that.
That is true.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I definitely had. I had an 80s alarm clock, and you must have had an 80s alarm. Everyone in the 80s, you were issued one. The one that I just had that annoying deep, 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 deep sound. That one.
That was more than 2 watts. That was definitely more than 2
exactly.
watts.
You could hear that thing from space, and there's no sound in space.
No.
Well, actually, there is. Technically, that's not true, but. Not 100% true. No sound in a vacuum. But yeah, just by the by. But yeah, you could, those were loud. And so I would say those were probably louder than 2 watts. I don't know. It's a bit weird that we measure speakers in wattage, isn't it, really? Because that's not really, it's a measurement of current. It's not really a measurement of audio. But there you go. It is what it is. I suppose it is in a way.
I don't know. You're getting into you're going to be into ohms, and although that's the electricity in it as well, that's power.
I always thought aim and ohms was a good idea to have on speakers. So he could have endorsed speakers, that guy, easily. Easiest marketing person ever. You go to him, we're making these speakers, we want to call them Amons.
If you want to set it down, it's too loud. Amon, ohms. They're too loud.
It's absolutely random that you would go to like a Jamaican accent for that.
Well, it's Amon.
I get it. I understand it. I understand it. I mean, I'm not sure of it, but okay. Well, that's where we went.
There's a joke there. There's a joke.
There is a good joke in there, I think. And by the way, just as an aside, the guy in the helmet on the cover, since we're talking about the cover, is it me or his eyes too far apart and his nose too big? I'm just questioning the anatomy there, looking at the visor.
That is a wide nose, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is. And his eyebrows, because do your eyebrows go, I suppose, do all of our eyebrows do that? I've never really thought, because mine, not that they meet in the middle, I'm not like a wolfen, but he's got quite a big, like, bridge gap, hasn't he, between his eyebrows.
Yeah,
he's
massive,
quite low down. I don't know. I mean, I'm not questioning Ollie Frey. If he drew that, I can't see his name on it. I think he probably is. I'm not questioning. He knows how to draw people and stuff. I couldn't draw that, but I'm just thinking that guy's, he's either that or maybe his visor, his helmet was too it was oval shaped and he put it on wrong because it's like squashed his nose flat. Like, so he's like, he
Well, he's
talks
got a
like
bit
that
of
all
a-
the time. I can't see anything.
He's got his green scarf on. I don't know. Maybe that's just crushed his nose a bit.
2 tapes again, though, Adrian. 2 tapes. Jimmy 2 tapes has been in town again.
There is. And because there were so few games this week, I actually played through them all. Well, the ones we haven't looked at.
Okay.
So, because there's Stormlord and Ranarama, weren't there? We've looked at those.
We've seen those. And Galaxian, is that one we've seen?
Right, this is the thing, right? It's not Galaxian. It's a game called Galaxions. So this so it's wrong.
These buns have no seats, do they? I'm telling you, this is Big Mac and Big Mick all over again.
Yeah. So it is a version of Galaxians, and it's okay. I've seen worse. There's a problem with it though that I was playing it for a little bit. I was like, yeah, it's Galaxian. It's a Galaxian clone, but it comes from like 1983. These are not new games.
Well,
so
no,
1983. The aliens don't come down in their patterns, and they don't come down in curves either. They come down in diagonals, which is annoying, and they just change at random how they're coming down. But they also don't come down. You know, like you get the 3 from the top all swoop down. You don't get any of that.
Yeah.
And it's very basic. They just never. It never seems to get much. It's very basic. So, but but like I said, it's Galaxions. Terminal City. Now that's a weird one. Because I think that's by Ash and Dave. Okay. It's an old PD thing they did, but it is the runaround it's the runaround bit from Parallax made into a different game.
Okay. I've heard of that. Why have I heard of that before?
It's got a really nice intro where this little guy comes on and pushes the screen off, and then a helicopter comes and lifts the like the C64 front page off, which is quite nice. Then you get the Parallax music comes on. I was like, okay, they've just nicked that because it's a PD game. But then it's literally just a bit where you're running around on the platforms to get in the...
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Cops is a pretty naff shook game. I didn't think much to that. Quicks is not Quicks, it's Kicks, or is it also known as Sticks. It's a 1983 version of Kicks.
Right. Good.
Atalan, I mean, it's slow. You play Volfied in the here and now because that's the better version.
Yeah.
Much better. Atalan was a text adventure in which I wandered around a beach, found a spade, did some digging, dug up a rope and an anchor, tied them together and threw them up a cliff and climbed up that rope. And it was all right.
And then waited for a bear to attack.
I just wandered off at that point. I went, just one of them, innit? Yeah, but I was quite impressed that he said, I could tie anchor to rope. Okay, throw rope up cliff. Yeah, okay, lets you do all that. So, some nice passage, I suppose. Yeah. Tassari was a bag of shit. It was some god-awful, I think, flick screen, Rastan Saga type thing that was ugly and horrible and not very good to play.
Okay.
So that was the tapes, really. There you go. Played them all.
Cool. Now, have you seen what it says across the bottom of this issue, Zap?
Go on, then.
Top tips for the Blues Brothers, James Bond 2, The Detective Steg, and Demi Moore. Now, what tips you'd need for Demi Moore, I don't know. But, I mean, I think they'd be advantageous. She's a lovely-looking lady, isn't she? Cracking. She's cracking.
Yeah. She's been in Ghost at this point, hasn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's, I'll have a top tip. What's the top tip, What is it?
Kill yourself, and then maybe you can haunt her, and she'll make pottery for you.
Yeah, well, he don't kill himself, does he? He gets murdered.
No, but if you want to, you could get yourself murdered instead. I mean, it's a tip either way.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't know her, so it's not going to have any effect on her, but it would have an effect on me. I don't like the idea of it.
Even a ghost you?
I don't like the idea of it. Yeah, I'm not into her that much. I mean, goodness me.
No. Do you want to know what games these racing games were, by the way, as well?
Yes, I think we should do a very quick rundown of them, just so we know. Okay,
right, I'll go through these. And it's okay, so pretty good, actually. Well, they're
very quickly, I said. Damn it.
Quickly. Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge.
Okay.
Stunt Car Racer.
Yeah.
Power Drift. Buggy Boy. Turbo Outrun.
Yeah.
Pit Stop 2.
Yeah, good. So
Ferrari Formula 1.
I don't remember much about it, but okay.
Grand Prix Circuit.
Yeah, it was good.
The Duel. Test Drive 2. Super Monaco GP. Don't remember much about that one.
Wasn't great.
Look at it, I think. Continental Circus. That one, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Scale Electric. That was a bit...
No.
Missed the point of it. Pole Position.
Very old.
Yeah, Super Trucks.
Do remember that one.
We did look at it, I checked. The Great American Cross Country Road Race.
You like that one.
Yeah. Days of Thunder. That was bad. Test Drive.
No, we're getting to the sort of crappy ones now.
Yeah. Outrun.
Oh, dear.
4x4 Off-Road Racing. That was the overly brown Epics one.
That was the overly brown one, yeah.
Richard Petty's Talladega. That's one I remembered being good, but turned out to be awful.
Turned out it wasn't, yeah.
Formula 1 Simulator.
Okay, good music.
Yeah, Cisco Heat.
No, that wasn't good, was it?
No, Vec Le Mans. That wasn't good
wasn't
either.
bad. That was bad.
No, Top Fuel Challenge. That wasn't great either, was it?
That was bad.
Hard Driving. And then there's some top-down racing ones. So Racing Destruction Set. That's good.
Yeah.
Ivan Iron Man Stewart Super Off-Road Racer.
That was all right.
Yeah. Indy Heat. That was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
Supercars.
No.
Hot Rod.
No.
Turbo Kart Racer.
Not good.
Rallycross Sim.
No.
That was a Rayburn one, wasn't it? Was that the Rayburn one?
I think so. Yeah, one of them.
Super Sprint.
Yeah.
That one great.
That one great.
Badlands. That was okay. Had good handling.
Yeah.
Grand Prix Simulator. That was the best one. That's the shoebox simulator.
That's the toes, isn't it? The little racing toes.
Yeah. Championship Sprint. That one great.
No.
Super Stock Car. I think that was crap.
No.
Last V8.
Too difficult.
And Street Machine. I
No,
remember.
That was rubbish, I think, that one. We've got one coming up, weirdly, haven't we? That weirdly they don't mention, which you think they would.
Oh, what's in this issue? Yeah, Slicks.
Yeah. You think they'd have mentioned that?
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Might have done. Yeah, anyway, don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's it. That's the cover. That's the games. That's your accordion TV.
Weird.
And everything else. We've got one game for this part. Should we get to it?
Yeah, let's crack on.
Let's crack on into the first game for this week. And well, that game, it's only one game, but this is Nobby the Aardvark. £7.99, got 96%, Graham, a gold medal.
Gold medal? Goodness.
Nonetheless, a gold medal for this. No, it's not on the cover. I guess it should be, really, because it's a gold medal, and you could at least draw a fun aardvark. It's Nobby the Aardvark, weighing at 96%, a coveted gold medal to boot. It's the third gold medal of the year.
Wow, okay.
Which I'm surprised at. After Creatures 2, okay, and Chuck Rock. They both secured that shiny piece of metal. But, scores have been all over the place this year. So is it really worth that coveted award? This was published by Thalamus. It was their final title on the machine at the time until 2018 Hunter's Moon Remastered. So big gap here.
Big gap.
And so I had a look at Thalamus because I was like, they've been pretty good at that. And they've been one of the better publishers on the system. And I looked at their list of games. Sanction, Delta, Hunter's Moon, QDex, Armorlight, Hawkeye, Retrograde, Snare, Creatures, Heatseeker, Summer and Winter Camp, and Creatures 2, and now this. That's a pretty good... We didn't get on with them all. That's a decent and interesting bunch of games, I thought. Yeah. That's one of the more consistently decent publishers across the life of the machine. So,
true.
Not too many,
true.
But decent quality. This was developed by Genesis Software. That is Dave Clark, Jonathan Smith, and Ashley Hogg. We've seen them before. They did CJ's Elephant Antics, Spiky in Transylvania, and CJ in the USA, which we never got to see. It was never reviewed in any magazine. So design, code, and visuals by Dave and Jonathan, and the music is by Ashley. They're from Belfast. I was reading an interview with Jonathan. It's Jonathan Temples now, and I was reading an interview with him. I'll mention a little bit of that a bit later. They're clearly a well-oiled team by this point. I assume that is why they were lifted out of doing budget games and given the means to do a full-price game for Thalamus. Like I said, £12 on release. So what is Nobby the Aardvark? What's it all about? I could not find instructions for this. I couldn't find any, but I did find a website that did have sort of instructions for it, and the scenario as well. So that scenario is thus: an ever-hungry aardvark in search of Antopia. Antopia is a land of ants and a culinary delight to the likes of Nobby the Aardvark. With directions gained from a precious meal, Nobby sets forth to eat his fill and battle his way through 8 levels of superb arcade action. Leap through the Wild West, explore the ocean depths in a midget submarine, and greet the inhabitants of the fabled city of Atlantis with a well-aimed ant. Not to mention a hectic ride in a hot air balloon, arm wrestling with an octopus, or even a daring escape from a monster-filled maze. Plus a hair-raising ride through a long-abandoned gold mine, then a laser battle with the mutants of Mars. Have you got what it takes to guide Nobby on this adventure of a lifetime? Yeah. Nobby, goes on to say, Nobby is an ever-hungry aardvark with a taste for ants, and Antopia is a land full of unsuspecting culinary delights. To reach Antopia, Nobby must cross many worlds and solve numerous puzzles. Basically what she told us. Grab your joystick, prepare to leap, bound, blast baddies, exercise the brain cells, waggle yourself crazy, and above all, enjoy yourself.
Yay.
There you go. It says 8 levels. One of them is a small mini level. I guess it still counts. There's still quite a lot of game here, so we'll not be too but not be too harsh on them. The game starts well with a nice loading screen of Nobby giving us a thumbs up. Hey, Nobby. And there's some suitably jolly music to set the scene. Once the game loads, you get a great intro of ants shoving stuff down an anthill until Nobby himself appears and threatens to eat the last ant. But he's told here of Antopia, a place full of ants to eat, and thus the reason for Nobby's adventure is told. Good. It's really good. If you saw the intro to CJ's, it's that similar level of presentation. In fact, it's better than CJ's level of presentation. The opening screen's really nice. The close-up of Nobby holding the little ant and it's sort of a little conversation between them. It's good. Title screen is also very good. Nice image of Nobby setting off for Antopia. Some credits. And if you let it run, there's even a rolling demo of the first level, which shows you what to expect. I played this on cartridge, which did away with all the loading between levels. Obviously, the best way to play this now, unless you want to play this with cheats, that is. Probably will. Pressing fire starts the game. We get to enter level 1. This is 1951 America. Now, why? It's just 1951 America.
Might as well be. Why not?
Yeah. So this level, we're in classic platformer territory, except you don't go left to right, mostly right to left.
No, that threw me for a second, that.
Were you looking for a platform to jump onto the right?
Yeah, just I thought it made me feel like it was more exploratory initially because I'm so used to going that way. So.
Yeah. So you thought, there's secrets that way, but no, that's just a level.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. The UI is at the bottom of the screen, taking up a few lines, shows your score, number of lives remaining. You start with 10. The one you have and 9 more. It shows you what kind of games it's going to be. And you can actually collect extra lives at 10,000 points. And then the number of ants you presently hold. Controls are simple enough. It's a platformer. Left and right for movement, up to jump, and you can control Nobby's direction in the air. Down is crouch. So the basic stuff there. You'll come across ant hills as you progress, and you need to stick your snout in these to load up on ammo. You suck out all the ants from them. To do this, simply pull down and press fire when you're in front of them, and Nobby will automatically suck all the ants out of that. Let go of the stick. Let go of the fire button when you do this, because if you don't, when he pops back up, you'll fire off some ants, and you're going to need them.
Wow.
Firing the ants, though, is simple as pressing fire once you're loaded up. And like I said, but they are limited. You will find multiple anthills around on the first level, but they are limited. Save them. You will need these towards the end of the level. So you have been warned. I locked myself on the train track at the top of the level because I ran out of ants. I'm very annoyed by that because it's not easy to get to that bloody train track.
No, it's not.
Anyway, you'll need to connect. There's an oil can to collect on this level as well. You make your way to the railway cart. Which is at the top. You jump on this, sees a little symbol appear. You got a waggle to speed up the railway cart. Knocks bumpers out of the way. Making your way past this gets you to a balloon and onto the second level. This is Skyworld 1951. This level sees you navigating a maze in your balloon, and that balloon is quite big on screen. Technically pretty good, this. In terms of what's going on. Creepy crawlies are crawling around the platforms. They throw bombs at you. Very annoying. But you can throw bags out of the balloon at them to kill them. Anything hits your balloon and it pops. So you lose a life. You can, if you make your way through to certain parts, collect other weapons here. You can find yourself a set of homing missiles, which are very useful. And you fire them, obviously, just with the spacebar. And that's quite good. And you can switch between them if you press space. Making your way through this maze, sees the balloon being popped. Nobby's dropped into the drink, which is weird, actually, because in the first level, touching water kills you. But here you get dropped into the drink and you're in an underwater section. And this, you need to swim to a submarine before your oxygen runs out. It's a downward scrolling section, this. It's kind of the mini bonus level, the mini levels. You have to navigate, sort of swim downwards. You only got a minute to do it. Otherwise, you die from drowning. If you do make it to the sub down at the bottom of this level, you're transported back to Atlantis in the year 340 BC. Don't know how. You just are. So this level is called level 3. This sees you in a sub, making your way through the maze-like level, firing missiles at enemies underwater. If you make contact with them, you lose oxygen. The UI has taken a turn for the technical at the bottom. Now we have the score, your oxygen meter represented by a bar, and your weapon on the right. If you make it all the way through this, you enter into a big temple, and this takes us to level 4, which is Atlantis City in 340 BC. We're back to standard platforming from the first level, but now you have unlimited ants to fire at enemies, which makes sense because there wouldn't be anthills in a city. So you just have unlimited ants now. New enemies appear here, including large frogmen in mechanical walkers firing lasers at you. I mean, when I say large, they are big. And there's loads of other different things as well. Every level is different. This is quite clever. Complete this to get in the rocket at the end of the level, and you blast off to level 5. This is the Mars space station. It says complete with low gravity. This starts off as a left to right run and gun level, up and down platforms, jumping around, but mostly level, just scrolling left to right. Nobby's in his spacesuit, he's blasting Martians as they come at him. There's disappearing platforms and turrets need to be avoided. before Nobby makes his way down into the space station, and the level opens up, swelling downwards into the planet. Which is quite good, and sort of backtracking, and it becomes a very, quite a large level, much bigger than you're expecting. It gets us to level 6. This is the Space Station Labyrinth. At this point, the game becomes a 2.5D style maze game. Perspective here is similar to things like Commando, and then we're looking down on Nobby now and slightly backwards from, slightly from an angle from behind. At this point as well, you may find, am I still on Mars? Okay, well, when I was reading this interview with Jonathan Smith, who is now Jonathan Temples, he said that Thalamus wanted this level to be on the space station. They'd already completed it though, as a garden, and unfortunately Thalamus wouldn't pay for the changes, so they didn't change it. So which is why it does feel a little out of place. So they didn't stump up the money for the extra work time that would have taken to actually change all the visuals on it, which, he said, no, I'm not doing it. This is fair enough, which is why we're in a garden. Basically, we're in a garden somehow. Anyway, it's very different to what's gone before. We don't feel like we're on Mars anymore. If you make it through this, and we make it to the final level, which is the abandoned ore refinery, this sees Nobby in a minecart, where you must navigate treacherous caves, shooting enemies and switches to go in different directions. Side-on sort of scroller, but you sort of different sort of trackways that go up, that go down, and you have to shoot the junction point. Some will take you up, some will take you down, and you have to backtrack and jump and all that kind of thing. It plays almost a little bit like Moon Patrol in a sort of sense of way, in controlling, it kind of looks a little bit like that, but on tracks with multiple different ways forward and everything. And you can jump backwards and scroll screen back left and right. There's giant boulders to avoid, which will prove certain death. There's gaps, there's things to kill, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Make your way through this, and Nobby is finally transported to Antopia, where we get to see the end sequence of the game. And I'm not going to spoil that for you, but it's a decent end sequence, and then you can enter your name in the high score table. So this is a very well executed, very varied, and really very well made game. Okay, from a visual point of view, it's excellent throughout. We've been praising Jonathan Smith's sprite work and backgrounds for some time now, and all the other things. And he did say some of the stuff he's worked on. Reading the interview, he said that he always liked working with Dave Clark because they were cousins.
Right.
So they're actual cousins. And he said he always liked him because he had a knack for putting some extra effort and shine and spark into their games. Like you look at CJ's antics, Spikey in Transylvania, they felt quite interesting. This does as well. And he went, the other ones, I did the graphics for them, but they never felt as good. They didn't have the thing that he would put into his games. Good coders, good design work would do these things. And Smith's sprite work here and backgrounds are really good. And having more time and space to work in has allowed him to create a real great example of cartoon platforming on the machine. All of the sprite work is excellent throughout. It's great animations from the smallest of blobs, which kind of move really well, sort of scrunch up and thingy, all that kind of animation stuff, to the largest of frog mechs and boulders running down at you, and Nobby in his submarine and things like that. They all move, they're all animated well. Nobby himself is a simple enough creation. He's just a grey anteater, but he moves well, and he's in various guises as well. We see him, they're all well drawn, they're all well presented. The backgrounds are also very good too. Remarkable level of variety from level to level. You can tell why this is a multi-load. There's no way you're getting this in a single load, because they're big levels as well. Really good shading, really nice variety from level to level. None of them really look the same. And like I said, it's clear why it's a multi-load. The levels are big too. These are not tiny little things, but large expanses with plenty to explore and discover. At times, it reminded me visually of things like Star Paws and Rim Runner. It has that similar sort of look, I thought, to those kind of games, things like that. I think it stands up with some of the best medium res work we've seen on the machine. That's because the volume of stuff, the constant high quality of everything, it's really good. Daffy Duck also sprang to mind as well, with some of the backgrounds and things in that. Some really good stuff going on here, especially the way Nobby dons different outfits of various levels, and he's doing different things, whether he's in the 2.5D level, whether he's in the submarine, whether he's diving, all those kind of things. It just looks good. And like I said, let's not even forget the complete perspective switch for level 6. I mean, this is not just a 2D side-on platformer. They do different things in the different levels as well.
That's right.
Not many games go to that level of variety at this stage, so it's impressive. In terms of sounds, there are individual pieces of music for each level, and they're all pretty good. I particularly like the pieces for levels 3, 4, and 5, a bit more darker, a bit more moody, which fit the kind of Atlantis and the Mars levels. But even the others, which are kind of a bit more happy and bouncy, help keep the mood bouncing along. The only downside here is there's no sound effects at all. You can turn the music off on the title screen. It leads to a silent and drab experience, which is a bit of a shame, really. It would have been nice to have some sound effects just in the back, just to keep things, shooting and jumping around and things like that. So you got to keep the music on, because it is actually a good suite of tunes. So, it's decent enough, but sound effects would have been nice. Controls themselves are solid. Nobby responds well no matter what the level and what you might be doing, and the presentation and variety is really impressive throughout. On those terms, this is a very, very good game, a great game, in fact. However, there's always a however, it is tuned to just a little too difficult, in my opinion. That's its main problem. It took me ages to get through the first level. I mean, hell, the first time I played it, I was dead in about a minute because the first thing you have to do, you have to go left. You have to jump over these ponds, basically. And to jump over them, you have to jump on these pretty fast-moving platforms, which sort of go back and forth across them. That's, you got to time that fair enough. But there's a water spout shooting up periodically in the middle of these. So you have to not only time jumping onto the platform, you have to time it so that the water spout doesn't get you in the middle as well. And actually just timing your jump onto the platform is tricky enough. And there are 3 of these in a row. And then when you get past those, there's another pond, and then you get close to it, and a water spout comes up and will generally kill you because you'll be too close to it. It's genuinely tricky and disconcerting considering it's the first thing you do. It's a real, like, what the hell? Why has this got a gold medal? This is so stupidly hard. There is a knack to it, which I figured out, which basically is you jump forward just before the platform reaches you, and then you and the platform move at the same speed. But as long as you've timed the spray, just keep jumping and moving forward. So just keep top left held down, or held up, basically. And you will jump every time you make the platform. You'll keep bouncing and bouncing. You'll bounce across. It is the way. It's the best way to do it. It took me a while to figure this out, though, and even then, I would still lose maybe a life or 2 in that beginning section. And you need your lives in this game. There are also some bullshit enemy placements as well at times. The birds can be a bit annoying. There's one bit where you're sucking on. You get to your second ant hill, and you sort of stick your nose in it, and you're letting it think, and a bird will just appear from off side of the screen and get you, and you don't see it coming, which is a bit annoying. There's another one at the top as well when you get through the cart and you go through this tunnel. It's quite tricky to jump on and off the cart, and there's a bird that comes in right behind you, and because you're on the cart, you're higher up, so you can't duck, and the bird will hit you, costing you a life every time. These things are a bit like, god damn it. And there are other parts like that as well. That's just the first level. I got through to the second level, and it was incredibly hard. The second level, the balloon, is really hard. I used a level skip to try some of the other levels. They're all of a similar difficulty level. This game is hard and punishing. So your mileage is going to vary as to how much you're going to get on with it. For me, it was just too much to start with. It needed a softer on-ramp. We said about this about loads of games. The easy in. Give me an easy in. Let me get going. Mario 1-1 is a nice, easy breeze. There's a reason for that. And so you could have made, the first level of this, or the first part of it, a nice, easy, jump over some small stuff, rule of 3, let me do something, bit of risk, then lots of risk. It's easy, okay? And another example is level 2. The balloon is huge, which is technically clever, but everything wants to pop it, and you only throw bags down from the basket, so everything above needs to be avoided, but the paths are narrow. Get the picture. Your balloon will be popped lots and lots of times. I will say that when you do get to level 2, you do get continues, 7 of them in fact, and that's quite nice, but I was only starting with 6 lives. I'm not quite sure if that's how many lives I got to level 2 with, or whether that's what you start with there. I don't know. You'll burn through them in no time. You just will. I did anyway. So all that said, though, for when this is reviewed, the second to last issue, I can see why this got the score it did. Okay, this is better than Chuck Rock. It's much better than Chuck Rock, in my opinion. So if that's getting 96, then this has to, by process of elimination, it has to get better because it's a better game. It's much better. Yeah. It's more varied, more interesting. The visuals and sound are better too. It is a better game than Chuck Rock. For a late stage C64 title, I thought it was pretty impressive. It's clear that the guys who made this really loved what they were doing, and fair play to Thalamus for putting this out, even if they would not stump up the cash for the visual changes. In the here and now, it's a very challenging and quite varied platform adventure, but it is rock hard, and you will struggle because it's just dead hard, and it is what it is. It's certainly one of the best on the machine, though, in this genre. It's better than most of these kind of things that we've seen in this kind of big open levels, lots to do, lots of platforming to do, varied stuff going on. Just be prepared to be frustrated again and again. I think it's a good game. I think it just needed a more easier in, and this would have been a really great game. What did you think?
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good summary. Sums up exactly how I felt about it. I thought this was a really nice looking game. I mean, come on. It's Thalamus as well, so it's got a bit of you've got a reasonably sure that it's going to be okay in terms of production because they've never really gone that far wrong. And it's proven to be the case. The final hurrah, I suppose, and it's fitting that they would go out with something like this. I enjoyed what I played, but I found it quite challenging. It's quite hard. And these games, when they're a bit over punishing, I found this actually latterly than this. I always found, do you remember those on the Sega Mega Drive? There was those Disney Mickey Mouse games and a few like that.
Aladdin and stuff.
Yeah, those kind of games. It was more like I think it was
Castle of Illusion.
Castle of Illusion, yeah. And I found they were quite challenging to do. It felt quite daunting, but they were quite nice looking. And I felt this, it didn't put me off. The difficulty of this, and I went through lives like crazy quick at the start of it. It didn't put me off it. I felt that there was quite a lot to go at. I thought the graphic style was really nice. And I imagined it looked quite nice on a CRT. There was lots of nice little quirky, cutie animations. They'd obviously learned a lot from the Mario vibes and stuff like that. But there was good qualities to this, and it's from a good team who knew what they were doing. I really liked the music. I thought Ashley Hogg did a great job with that. It really suited it. And I was entertained. I thought it was pretty good. It was just that, as you rightly said, it was just that challenge spike is a bit high. And I think you're going to need an infinite lives cheat to get anywhere near towards the end of this. I mean, now with modern emulators, we can just freeze the game and pick up where we left off and stuff. But I like the intro sequence. I like the style. I liked all of that. Could it have just been, I think it's just little, I suppose you'd call them tweaks, little tweaks here and there, just to tidy things up a little bit. It still felt a little bit bitty, and it wasn't quite the same as the Giana Sisters kind of smoothness. It wasn't kind of that, just wasn't quite that level, but there was quite a lot more going on, I think, in terms of its backgrounds and stuff like that. I thought it was good. I think it's definitely worth playing. It's certainly one of the best ones of these we've seen, because we've had quite a lot of these. Certainly one of the best ones we've seen of this type, and it's got the game to back it up, which is what I quite like. There was quite a lot to go at. Especially when you get into the submarine bit and some of those other levels. They're quite ingenious, actually, in the way they play. It's just nice to get a game that isn't just the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's varied. For these games, it's key. And Mario's really set the benchmark for that when you've got the underwater levels and you're going in the caves and all that. So it's quite good for that. Now, I think this is a really good game. It's just it hits on the wrong side of challenging too often at the start, I think, and you run a risk of putting people off it if you do that. But it's definitely worth going and have a go at it, see what you think, I think is the best thing I would say.
Yeah, there you go. That's Nobby the Aardvark. It is pretty good, but you will be challenged.
Yeah, expect a challenge, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. And that's it. That's it for the first part. We've only got 2 games, so we're going to do the second one after in part 2. So we're going to go away, take a quick break. After that, we'll come back. We've got the music to look at from October 1992. So we'll be back in a moment with all that. See you then.
The novel Escape from the Commodore 64 by David Hearn is out now. Crash landing on a green planet full of vector graphics, can Sarah find a way to escape for real? Or is she stranded on a planet full of sun, sea, and chippy tea forever? Imagine finding yourself in a cinematic karate game, having to rescue a princess, or remain stuck under the run-stop key forever. What about finding yourself on a space freighter full of robots? Could you clear the decks? If you were transported back to a Wild West town, having to round up outlaws, could you survive until sunset? What if you were a wizard with a cat who must colour worlds? Could you beat the game, or would a virtual guitar solo announce your demise? Sarah might just be another visitor, but she doesn't want to stay a while, never mind forever. Available from Amazon and all good online retailers, discover if there's a way out in Escape from the Commodore 64. Visit davidhearnwriter.com to find out more.
And we're back. It's October 1992. What is going on in the land of music? Well, for number 1 singles, we saw this we've seen this over the last few weeks, but still at number 1, because I think was it all month in September? Was it all month? It was quite a chunk of the month.
Maybe, yeah, it was quite a chunk of it.
Yeah, it's still Ebenezer Good by the Shaman.
He's a good. You know, I discovered the other day the Jason Statham thing about the Shaman. I don't know if you know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
So there's a connection between Jason Statham, the actor, and the Shaman. And that is that in the background of one of their videos, Jason Statham's a dancer I think he's painted orange or something, like bronze, and he's dancing in the background like a crazy dancer guy, because he's the dancer guy. So before he was, Cockney geezer, punch you in the mouth, kick you in the balls, and what you doing, Turkish? Before he was him, he was a dancer for the Shaman, which is all good. We've all been there. You were a dancer for the Shaman for a while, weren't you? You did it for a couple of weeks. Gary's never stopped. Never stopped. He still does it.
True. I was Mr. E's stunt double.
Yes, it was a mystery, really, that. Yes,
whatever his name is.
And of course, he just liked to have Gary around, didn't he? Gary was his bez, wasn't he? Just used to around playing maracas for him.
Yeah, he just liked to stand there and pat him on the head.
Yeah, he just liked having him around. I mean, I'd like to share that feeling, but I genuinely don't. So I'm joking, of course.
Yeah, so I'm glad he moved to London.
Yeah.
We love you, Gary.
But like everything, like on a bungee cord, he came back. No, we do. We love him, really. We always take the mickey out of Gary, and we actually do really like him a lot.
Yeah. Don't be confused. If you just joined in and go, God, you really hate this Gary guy. You're right, but we love him too.
Yeah, we love him to bits. And if he's 10 quid he owes me doesn't arrive in the post, I'll quickly be turning that statement around, let me tell you.
Coming in for the next 2 weeks at number 1, we talked about this before, Sleeping Satellite by Tasman Archer.
Blame her. She was blaming somebody. You can't blame anyone for the moonlit sky. Don't blame anyone for a moonlit sky.
No, and replacing that for the last week of the month was End of the Road by Boyz II Men.
It's the end
don't.
I
knew you were going to sing it. Don't sing it. I hate that bloody song.
Everyone hates that song. The very name of them, Boyz II Men. And they've done that too in the way that Soul to Soul did, isn't it? So it's boys or men. You decide.
Boys or men. You choose.
Yeah, and it's boys with a Z as well. It's just doing all the wrong things. All the wrong things. No.
It is. Number 1 albums. For the first week, we had Automatic for the People by R.E.M.
Big on that one.
Album.
Big old album, Whopper, man, one might say.
Yep. Replacing that for 1 week was Symbol by Prince and the New Power Generation, or Love Symbol, or whatever the hell damn thing this is called.
It's called Love Symbol, yeah.
Yeah, Love Symbol. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. And then for the final 2 weeks, it was Glittering Prize 8192 by Simple Minds compilation album.
Of course it is.
Right, let's get into the single. Get into the singles. 4th of October, straight at number 9 is My Name is Prince by Prince.
Yep.
Why? Oh, is he changed his name at this point? Because it's odd to have a song called My Name is Prince.
He's just about to. He didn't change it yet.
Right, okay. So the symbol thing has not happened, even though he's got the symbol.
No, the symbol thing is the name of the album, and then he changes his name to the symbol after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why have a single called My Name is Prince? So it's like reminding everyone and then changing your name.
Well, no, I think he's trying to make a point at this point. In the video, you'll notice he covers his face in this video. He's got like drapes over his. Maybe that's just what he liked to wear. He just liked to wear face curtains. There's people I know that probably should wear them.
We've all been there.
We've all had the need for face curtains before.
Absolutely. I can warn you against wearing slatted blinds. They're really painful.
Yeah, don't wear Roman blinds. Did Gary have a haircut? Speaking of Gary, once
he's had every haircut known to man. Some that not.
He did have an afro for a while as well. He denies that though, but he did. Anyway, so he's not the artist formerly known as Prince just yet. In nearly a big expensive video though, wasn't it?
Yeah, Katie Alley, wasn't it? She's in that.
Yeah, Kirstie Alley.
At the beginning. Yeah, Kirstie Alley. Yeah, Kirstie Alley. Sorry.
Yeah. Her older sister. Yeah, she was in it. It's quite quite famous.
I don't know what you're on about. It says Kirstie Alley. Look.
No, it says Kisty. You can't just change it around like that.
There you go.
And so, because she's suddenly passed away, so rest in peace, Kirstie Alley. But it's an expensive video. Song's all right, but he's just saying his name a lot.
Yeah, true. And at number 13 is Love Song, Alive and Kickin', double A side released by Simple Minds, obviously in preparation for the forthcoming, or probably out at that point, compilation album.
Yeah, totally that.
Number 19 is Not Sleeping Around by Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was great, but it was just. I didn't really know what to make of it, if I'm honest.
Nah, I don't. This is the thing with Ned's Atomic Dustbin. They're either got a nice hook or it's just this, and it's a bore. I just thought it was a boring drone of a song. Didn't really do anything.
Didn't really go anywhere. I'll give it that, but it was only 3 minutes. 3 minutes 20? It's quite short.
Yeah, still, yeah. And at number 23 is A Million Love Songs Later. I take that.
Yeah, that's a good song. This is.
This is much earlier than I thought it was.
Yes. Now, it's funny you say that.
This was way later, this.
Yes, I thought it would. And that's because it sounds like it should be. Now, I think time's been changed.
This doesn't fit in with the songs we've just been listening to from Take That.
Doesn't. No, does it fit in with their voices? That's what I thought, but that's not the case. I checked into it. This is when it came out. Now, the only thing I could think of was that Gary Barlow had invented a time machine and somehow he's gone back and altered the past. But he's done it in very subtle ways, like not really important ways, which is typical Gary, classic Gary that. Don't do anything important, I think it's safe to say. Yeah. Sorry, Gary, I know you think you do. Not you, Gary, podcast friend Gary. Although Gary Barlow is a friend of the podcast. I don't know if you know that. He's written to us several times asking us to stop. And the last letter did the word cease and desist on it. Fair enough. I thought it was just being friendly. Anyway, what we'll say is that I thought this was an immediate response to the Boys to Men song. It's like they heard Boys to Men, they heard The End of the World. They thought, that's got a bit of a market. And this got smashed out. And they obviously had it recorded ready. It was like in a, when they arm a missile in a ready. It's like they had this ready.
Smashed the Smoochy love song alarm thing with a hammer.
Yeah, I mean,
it was on the wall.
Everything about it is wrong. The song itself sounds like it should be sung by somebody else. The video doesn't look like it's them involved. It's just weird. It's a proper art time. It's a really good song. It's a really well written, well produced song. It just, the visuals don't match the audio, and then the age wisdom of the lyrics doesn't match. Gary Barlow looks like a 15-year-old singing it. It's all kinds of strangeness, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but Gary is an old man in a young man's body.
But you might be right. I mean, he has a bit of an old soul, is what they call it, isn't he? An old soul.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting factoid for you. So I have actually mixed music on Gary Barlow's old mixing desk. How about that for a claim to fame? Check it out.
Did he know about it?
That's hence the cease and desist. But we don't talk about that. No, it's believe it or not, one of his old desks. He has several. One of his old desks, great big, massive multi-track thing, lived. It might not now, but it lived at the time in a studio called Chairworks, which is between Leeds and Grimsby, I think it's in Castleford. And the big mixing desk in there, because I went there for a bit of a fun experiment one afternoon, go into the why I was there, but I was there. And
I've just come in for a fun experiment. Get out! No, you can't stop me.
It was actually attached to It was attached to a Kickstarter thing that never was. It was a project that never actually got off the ground. And I don't want to mention it too much because I think it might upset a few people. But it was actually where I met Mike Clark, strangely enough, for the first time. He was also trapped there for a while with no power. Anyway, long story short, we did a bit of messing about on his desk. Not for long, though, because the power went off and we couldn't do anything. But there you go.
See, you just needed old school instruments, guitars.
Yeah, it was a bit
bagpipes.
Mad, really. We ended up just me, Tim Wright, and Mike Clark and a couple of other people just sat having a Chinese takeaway in a closed, dark studio. It was kind of surreal, really.
That is a bit odd.
And then Mike showed me this amazing technology he had where he could vibrate glass or walls to make sound come out of it. It's mad. I'm not sure what was in that Chinese when I think about it now. Now I reflect on that entire weirdness. But anyway, it is what it is.
I think we should move on before this gets litigious.
Those are all true facts.
Okay. In at number 24 is Could Have Been Me by Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah, it could have been, but I wish it wasn't.
No, I thought this sounded like a shit Don Henley.
Yeah, totally that. I mean, he's almost like a Don Henley-like, isn't he? Is Bon Henley or I don't know.
Bob Henley.
Bob probably is a Bob Henley. Video was a bit brown and all fadey on it, trying to get the tonality in there. But his hair, that ponytail mullet combo, I don't know. It's a bit powerful, isn't it? That for this, it overwhelmed the song and him and my eyes. The song was very cheesy. So.
Yeah. Number 26 is No Ordinary Love by Sade.
I really like that song. Yeah, Sade's got an amazing voice, though. Really great voice. Charted a lot higher than I remembered it charting. Because I remember for that song and for the other one that we talked about way back. And then I thought, is this from a film soundtrack? And then I thought, is it from? There was a film I thought it was from. And then when we look at the film's next episode, it is one of those films. So
there you go. Okay.
So, yeah.
Find out next week. Number 28 is Special Kind of Love by Dina Carroll. Ugh, hour of shite.
Hashtag hour of shite, indeed.
Yeah, definitely. Number 29 is Roadhouse Medley, Anniversary Waltz Part 25 by Status Quo. Oh, God, this thing.
Yeah, they can't really be stopped, can they? It's weird. Now, I found this video on YouTube of it, and I quickly got the impression when I watched it that it was like live. It's like watching one of them live streams, and they were just continuously playing. They can't be stopped. They've been playing that Roadhouse medley. This is part 25. It's been going on for years, and there's just like when obviously one of them has passed away now, R.I.P. The others are still there, like
the song is still going.
They can't. They're not allowed to stop because it would affect the space-time continuum.
True, and Pinhead would turn up.
Well, they're called the status quo. And that's what actually achieves the status quo. If they stop playing, hell breaks loose. It's like Hellraiser, like a status quo version of Hellraiser.
Yeah. You stop playing, I came.
Exactly. I want to see that now. I want to see any band member from Status Quo as Pinhead would be worth seeing, I think.
Oh dear. No blues rhythm, please.
They can't not do that. That's the only thing they do.
That's the only thing they do. Number 30 is Excited by M People, which is ironic because it's a band no one ever got excited about.
Yeah, I mean, they had that one big song, didn't they? And then nothing else was quite as good as that one, was it? So,
yeah. Yep.
Good vocals,
number
I guess.
Yeah, number 32 is Jump Around by House of Pain.
Good song. It is good.
Yeah, good is gold.
Yeah, as soon as you hear it, anywhere in the world, as soon as you hear that, da, 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 you know what's happening now. You know what's
happening. I had to be in the right mood for it, though. That trumpet stab would be sending me to the bar.
Really?
Sometimes I was like, yeah. No, it's not that I don't like it. I had to be in the right mood for it to want to jump around. I had to be in a jump around mood. If I wasn't in a jump around mood, you can't not jump around to that song. So it's like, I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit like, I've been dancing for a while and I can't do this one as well. I need to drink.
I have never been in any place, and bear in mind it was St. Patrick's Day yesterday, wasn't it? So this is kind of, it's kind of fortuitous that we'll be listening to the House of Pain, which are an Irish gangster rap band, essentially. But I have never been anywhere, in any pub, any club, any place ever when this song comes on, it doesn't bring the entire atmosphere of the place up instantly. And it's got that power. It has got that power. I've never seen anyone, I mean, even, because the only previous experience we had with Jump Around was that bloody awful crisscross thing, wasn't it? Crisscross will make you jump, a Daddy Mac will make you. And then these came along and were like, no, shut the idiots down, put the trousers on the right way around, stupid idiots. And then these guys came along and they've reduced this. And actually the House of Pain, their album, by the way, that this is from is brilliant. So all good. It's all good, isn't it? All good.
All good. I do remember, I have a very vivid memory of jumping around to this in Crazy House in Liverpool. I think the very first time I went there. I was like, that's very good.
Is it an Irish bar?
Good night. Crazy House, no, it's a big sort of indie rock club in Liverpool.
Why weren't you in an Irish bar?
Why would I be?
Because
I'm not Irish.
You don't have to be Irish to go to an Irish bar, do you? You just have to be, it can be any nationality. They welcome everybody. They're very welcoming.
That is true. I mean, I went to an Irish bar in Prague.
Yes.
But I don't remember hearing this come on.
That's strange, you see, because I thought it would have done. But if it had it would have lifted the mood.
It would have, yeah, it would have. But it didn't. Anyway, number 36 is Take a Little Piece of My Heart by Irma Franklin.
Yeah. It's off an advert, wasn't it?
Take a piece of my heart, baby.
Yeah, I think it was off Levi's or Coca-Cola, one of the two, I think.
Some of the other, yeah. However, at number 37 is Radio by Shaky featuring Roger Taylor. What point did he become shaky?
Well, no, that's two songs. You're mixing up two songs there. Radio is one song featuring Roger Taylor and Shaky is the other song.
Is it two songs? I thought it was just Shaky. Well, it's Shaky Stephen featuring... It's just Radio. That's the song.
So why have you got Radio featuring Roger Taylor, Shaky
because
featuring Roger Taylor?
That's the way the charts website.
I thought it was like two songs. That
bit.
Explains why I couldn't find a song called Shaky.
No, that's Shaky. He's changed his name to Shaky.
Well, it says Shaky featuring Roger Taylor. That's weird. Why is he featuring him on his own?
I don't know.
Anyway, it was a crap song, wasn't it? It was a Shakin' Stevens song. It's very shaky, very loud drums, though. Actually, now I think
very
about
loud
it.
Drums. But I can only assume this is looking for post-Queen work for Roger Taylor. You get what first one that came knocking on his green door.
Hey, does he need to work though? Does he really? I mean, all the success he had. I mean, I know Shakin' Stevens does because that guy was, he was buying the cheap butter, wasn't he?
Well, let's put it this way: he's not the only ex-Queen member that we're going to see this week doing a weird combo crossover.
True. And does the bassist ever do anything different? Or is he just
John Deacon? I don't think he does. No. He just sits in his front room going dum 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 dum. That's all he does.
Without a bass guitar, he just makes that noise.
Yeah, just hums it. Yeah, he just says.
That's fair. I mean, he's a bassist. Yeah. He can do that.
He can. Just emits it from his fingers.
Yeah. Crap song though, and pointless inclusion of drummer from Queen just to sell it. I think.
Yeah, it's dreadful. In at number 38 is the Phased EP by All About Eve.
Yeah, not good.
No, this is the last thing I bought. I still have this. It's the last thing I bought by them. They seem to have tried to morph into Lush.
Yeah, I got that impression. I mean, I couldn't identify the band, but it sounded like you say very derivative and a long way from Martha's Harbour. Beg your pardon.
Yeah,
felt like they'd sailed off to another island completely and docked somewhere else.
Yeah, it's very, very different. It's not the worst one we'll see this week from a band that we used to like. But,
No, it's really not. But it wasn't
not a
great.
good one, is it?
She also looked really awkward in the video as well. It's clear that this is not the direction she wanted to head.
No. I think it's. I put it down to, I don't know. They got a new guitarist in for the previous album, and maybe he was more into this sort of stuff and sort of pushed them in this direction. And
yeah, maybe
it's not very good. 11th of October, in at number 11 is Erotica by Madonna.
Yes, I really like this album and this track as well.
You're a big fan of her?
Yeah, I like the vibe of this stuff. It was kind of just. I don't know, just a bit different from everything else that she'd done. I wasn't totally into all of it because it was more infamous because it was kind of rude and, there was all sorts of kinky fetishy.
And there was the book as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was the book. Was it called Sex? Wasn't it? Or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
Was that something like that?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what got the press, was all of that. The video famously had lots of nudity in it and it got banned all over the place. And there was loads of notorious stuff going on. Underneath that, there was Erotica, which is actually a really, really great track, which I really like and still do. It's got a really good vibe. If I was ever going to remix a track, I'd be tempted to remix that one. It's got a good vibe to it, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. And she certainly, certainly divided the audience, I think, for the live shows. The kids that were going to see her at that time probably weren't prepared for what they got at that show.
Was this the pointy brow one? Pointy brow show?
No, this is after that. This is she became a character. So I think it was Dieter. She was mirroring herself off like a famous what do you call them? Like
Dieter Von Teese, Dieter Von
yeah,
Meyer,
that's that sort of thing. That what they call that type of show.
Burlesque.
Yeah, very burlesque, but sort of kinky burlesque with fetish wear and masks and hints of lesbianism and stuff like that in the video. It's all very metrosexual stuff very early on for that. Very different to anything else that she'd done. We've gone from Papa Don't Preach to Papa's probably watching TV with everybody. But it was just surrounded by controversy all the time. She famously did an interview after this with Jonathan Ross. I think it was in 2 parts shown, and all about this. And it was quite racy, saucy, and whatever at the time. And because TV at the time was quite conservative compared to what it is now. I mean, goodness me, look at the video back then, which got banned, and I think even the Pope had something to say about it again. Everyone was getting involved with it. And nowadays it's tamer than a single episode of Game of Thrones season 1 by miles.
Yes, yes it is. Having just rewatched all that, I could certainly say it is.
Yep. So still good though. Still good song if you like it.
Yeah, I like poppy Madonna from the 80s, so this one, Madonna wasn't my Madonna. I pretty much tuned out of her output by this point, and I never really got back into any of her latest stuff, even music and stuff like that, whatever she did. Didn't sort of appeal very much. Number 15 is Assassin by The Orb.
Yeah. It went dud, 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 and it was all right. It's all I ever say about The Orb. I feel, just like, they're all right. They're not offensive or inoffensive. They're okay. They're all right. They're an orb.
Yeah. And at number 17 is Sticky by The Wedding Present.
No, arse.
It's just more of The Wedding Present, isn't it? There's more of The Wedding Present. 12 singles in a year. What
you
they were
can tell
doing.
now. They're getting tired now. 3 hours to record the video for sure. Probably recorded in someone's car by the sound of it. It was the audio quality was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And at number 19 was Highway to Hell Live by AC/DC. Why this got released.
Now, there's a thing to search for on YouTube to find, and you'd be surprised how many Highway to Hell lives there are on YouTube, of which there are lots. I found one
Probably
from 1991, just randomly, but they go from all the way from when it was released to now. They're still doing it. So there's loads of them. And it all sounds identical. Even the ones now where, you've got the basically pensioners sort of shuffling about on his Zimmer frame playing his guitar. Still sounds good if you like it.
Yeah, I suppose. Number 23 is perfect. Wait, it's just AC/DC. You either like AC/DC or you don't.
Well, you do. And I think there's just some songs have become so synonymous with them. Highway to Hell's one of them. It's not my favourite AC/DC song. I like some AC/DC. That's a good song. But I much prefer some of the others. Shoot to Kill and things like that are much better for me.
Back in Black.
Yeah, another good one. Yeah.
Okay. Number 23 is Perfect Motion by Sunscream.
Do you remember much about Sunscreen?
I don't remember any of these. And the video just made it look like a lot of people I wouldn't have got on with.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I don't think that was half the problem, really. These were a band that never quite got to the heights they probably should have. They were always kind of that nearly band. Very derivative sound didn't help. They leaned on a lot of other bands at the time for that sound, and which always left them looking and sounding kind of boring because they just sounded like not as good versions of some of the bands they were imitating. And their output was okay, but very sort of just a bit by the numbers. They're not crap, And this later down the line, there's some good songs by them, but they just never got anywhere with them. I always felt so.
What's the song I might? Is there a song I might have heard by them?
What's it called? You won't have. No, you won't have come across that. You might have. When we come across more of them, if we do, you might have. I can't remember the top of them because they're kind of not always memorable. And the reason for that is because I wasn't massively into them. There was one track by them that a friend of ours, Rick, was massively into. He was heavily into these. And they released loads of remixes, loads of CD singles. I'll tell you where most of their CD singles ended up, at the bloody record fairs in the big box of CD singles under S. Because this was where you'd always find, they always ended up with tons of remixes of Sunscream stuff and loads of them. And they just never seemed to get anywhere with it. Anyway, video had lots of crappy video effects in it. They had a look of a band that had looked like other bands. They had a bit of a wild side, EMF-y kind of look and feel, a bit Pop Leet itself vibes going in there somewhere. There was just a bit of cut and paste from so many other bands that what happens when you do that, of course, is that you end up with a band that sounds like everything's been cut and pasted together. They don't sound very unique, and that's the problem with them. And I desperately can't think of the name of the song that you remember them for.
Well, the subsequent singles, there was Broken English.
You might remember that one if you heard it.
When, Exodus.
Yeah, it was another big one.
White Skies, Secrets, Looking at You.
White Skies, yeah, Looking at You. That's the one that I think Rick was very popular with him.
Well, that didn't even chart in the UK.
That's what I mean. They never quite got there. They were going for quite some time as well. And the lead singer is the woman singer at the end. They had it all going on. She was a good looking woman. They were a good looking band. In the end, they changed their look and they just didn't quite fit in. They didn't quite fit in.
Oh, well. And at number 24 is, this thing. Don't You Want Me by The Farm. No, I don't want you. I don't want you doing this.
No.
I love this song, and not this song, but this song, Human League's Don't You Want Me, but this version of it is a travesty.
I couldn't understand why the Human League would have even let them do that. Then I realised that the Human League wouldn't have owned a copyright to their own songs at this point. They wouldn't have owned the masters, would they? So the record label would have said, yeah, it's okay, you release that.
Yeah. So how do you murder a song? If you murder a song so well. This is brutal. So bad.
It's terrible. The Farm are never going to be good at anything like this, but it's just awful. And talk about taking a good song and ruining it, goodness, or trying to. I'm still glad that the original song exists, to be honest, because it might not have survived. That.
I love the original song. I think it's a great pop track from the 80s, but this is just,
it's crap. When I read that it was Don't You Want Me, I was dreading that it was actually going to be a cover of Human League, it's Don't You Want Me, and I was like, oh, please don't be that, but it was.
And it was.
Awful.
And at number 28 is A Letter to Elise by The Cure.
Your wheelhouse with The Cure, isn't it? You like that?
Yeah. We've got All About Even. We've later got The Mission coming up in this episode with dreadful stuff. At least The Cure are here to rely on.
Yes.
It sounds like The Cure. It's not my favourite of theirs. I do quite like this though, with Letter to Elise, talking about off that recent album, and I do think this is quite a good track. It's kind of in the middle of the sort of darker stuff and janglier stuff, but I think it's a decent enough track. It's not brilliant, but it's like there is still some decent sort of gothy bits and bobs still being sort of created, but yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Yeah,
and they endure. Nothing terrible about it. Very jangly for them. I think after all the years, though, we'd have learned how to put lipstick on, wouldn't you? After all these years,
exactly how he wants to.
Well, yeah, I guess he just crayons it on, like in circles. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's technique to that, but maybe it's just not the look he's going for. I mean, he never brushes his hair, so why would he do his lipstick right?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's fair.
Probably just smeared from 3 days before.
Yeah, that's fair. If you got doing all that kissing.
Yeah. And at number 40 is Avenue by Saint Etienne.
Oof, no.
Floaty. That's the Saint Etienne adjective, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Brown Sauce probably loves that, though. He's probably screaming at whatever he listens to podcasts on right now, going, God, how can you not like Saint Etienne? They're great. They're an amazing band. And I would say to him, well, I would retort, Mr. Wilson, that you only like them this week. Next week, you'll have another band that will be your favourite, and so you will the week after, and the week after, and the week after, you charlatan. And then he might send me my 10 quid back, and then I'll probably turn that around.
I hear he went to see them live once, but he walked out because he didn't like the adverts.
Yeah, he complained about the adverts. Yeah, too many bloody adverts.
I walked out. He does that. He's been known to do it.
He really does do it. We're not making it up. He does do it.
He does. And at number 49 of Shades of Green. This should be more like Shades of Brown. This is The Mission. Christ on a Bike. I vaguely remembered this when it started playing, but I've worked very hard to erase this from my memory. Just awful. Yes. Dreadful thing. It's a dreadful song.
Yes, it's one that makes you exclaim all sorts of crazy. This terrible thing. Terrible
video
thing.
as well.
just nothing good. Nothing good about it at all.
No.
It sounded like U2, for goodness sake. I mean, I remember there being a point when the mission started to sound a bit like that.
No, it didn't. It sounded more like The Alarm.
Yeah, well, they sound like U2, don't they?
Who were the mock U2?
Yeah, they are.
So it didn't even sound like the real U2.
So there's just, but I've noticed a lot of music is starting to go down that road. I think are they all using the same producers or something? I don't know what's going on, but
it's just that kind of like what's popular, isn't it? And that sounds around, I suppose.
Even U2 had changed at that point. They didn't think it was popular. They're like, we're changing.
Oh,
now,
like the classic U2 sound.
Yeah.
I think people, I don't know.
Yeah. I suppose there's still people out there.
I suppose that U2 had moved on, so there was a vacuum for the U2 sound. Other bands were trying to move into that.
Yes, so maybe they've left a power vacuum.
Perhaps. In at number 66 is We Are the Champions by Hank Marvin featuring Brian May. There you go. The second Queen, ex-Queen member, or still Queen member, I suppose. But Jesus Christ, what is this?
I'll tell you what it was, Adrian. This was the euthanasia pods of Switzerland have this playing as the curtains close just at the end of the cycle, I think. It's what made me laugh was it's the difference between, obviously you got Hank Marvin playing, that bit, and then Brian May comes in with a really sort of epic solo. And even for Brian May, he's clearly proving a point. Imagine
thinking that twangy guitar is a substitute for Mercury's vocals. I mean, imagine
it's a wonder that Brian May didn't just twat Hank Marvin with his guitar at the end of the day. Use the red special to just, carve out his name on his chest.
Oh, again. But I know, I mean, you get what work you can in a post-Queen world. You can't be turning down offers.
I mean,
like Roger Taylor couldn't turn down Shaking Stevens.
We're not far off the Guitar Expo, We're not far off the Guitar Expo here. So, he's mates with Steve Vai. Well, not anymore. He's not. After we did that with Hank Marvin, they were like, I'm not playing with you, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're quality we're we're being mean to Hank Marvin. He's still playing. He's still out there doing it,
I know. Yeah, it's like status quo. Can't be stopped.
I actually emailed his agent to see if I could get him on our podcast.
Please tell me you're joking.
No, it's true. I did. And do you know what I got back? I just got this now. He only speaks in guitar now. So I couldn't quite translate it, but it didn't sound good. It sounded like it ended with the words cease and desist. But, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Hank Marvin, Gary Barlow.
Hank.
They're all on at us all the time. That's it. In at number 70 is Shame About Ray by the Lemonheads.
Cheap and nasty video, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're just a sort of lo-fi band from America at this point, weren't they? Still what they are is what it is. It's not a bad song. It was all over MTV, I remember, back at the time, and things like that. I do remember hearing this a lot. I don't think was it a cover? I don't think it's a cover.
It's because when I heard it, it reminded me of another song, and I couldn't place it. And then I eventually figured out it was Badly Worn Hat, or whatever he was called. And
Badly Drawn Boy.
That's the one. And it was that movie about a boy, wasn't it? And he's something to talk about.
Yes, and I did listen to that, and I can hear the similarity, but yeah, I don't think it's a cover. I think the only cover they did was one was Mrs. Robinson. Yeah,
which was all right. I don't mind. I don't hate on the Lemonheads. They're all right, but it just when I heard it, I couldn't get that song out of my head, and I was like, and it's because that stupid film and that. Remember the video of the guy who's basically like a tramp, isn't he, with just a badly worn hat, whatever he's called, and he's just not. Yeah. He doesn't look like he's a good songwriter, but he's clearly just have a bath.
Yeah, I remember the thing. I probably said this about because it's from the film about a boy, in it.
Yeah.
And I probably told the story that every woman I've ever watched that film with gets really angry with me because when at the end of it I go, "Who was better off at the beginning?"
Who was better off at the beginning?
Hugh Grant. I went, Hugh Grant's life was way better at the beginning. They're like, no, he's not. He's got family and everything like that. And blah, blah, blah. I went, yeah, but he could do what he wanted, had loads of money, never had to worry about anything. His life was way better.
The point of the film was wasted on you, wasn't it, Adrian? I think you kind of missed the whole point of it, really.
I completely understand it. I've read the book and everything. I understand it. I
don't think you did. I just think the opening line of the film is "No man is an island." That's the opening line.
He didn't see it.
But you're like, but if they are an island, they're having a bloody good time, is what you thought, right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a party. He's Ibiza. That's what's going on with him.
Yeah. Yes, but, maybe. Yeah.
I am a robot, remember? That's what I get called, a robot.
I wonder why. I wonder why would that be?
I don't know. In the 18th of October, in at number 5 is Keep the Faith, Keep the Faith. Hey, you gotta keep the faith. Bon Jovi.
Yeah, also sounded like U2, weirdly.
Yeah. shuffly drums and guitars, isn't it? It's all shuffly, this one.
It is a shuffle.
Keep the shuffling. I don't want a particular fan of this.
No, new look, wasn't it, for Bon Jovi? New look. They were obviously, and our fair play to them.
He had the Rachel haircut, didn't he, from Friends?
Well, yeah, but he'd been in Friends, I think, by this point. He was in some TV, wasn't he? They'd been trying to shake the hair metal image, and they needed to because, all the other bands, they'd watched all the other bands literally disappear. And so, money was going to run out, wasn't it? Who's going to pay for, what's his name? Tito Fuentes, whatever his name is, all of his drumsticks. So, probably not his name. But,
and his hairbands.
So, anyway, what's his name? God, I got it right. Amazing.
You did. Well done.
I'm pleased. And then at this time, they'd have been preventing Richie Sambora from dressing up as a jacket potato. Yeah, inevitably, they didn't prevent that in the end, did they?
Who's going to pay for Richie Sambora's mouth organ spittle wash?
Mouth organ. And
that thing he sings through.
Oh, yeah, that vocal tube thing. What do they call that? Voice tube thing. Yeah,
voice tube. It can't get cleaned by something.
Yeah, well, he probably borrowed it from...
That must be full of spittle at the end of a gig, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, freakishly so. If he blew on that, there'd be a jet of spit would come out and probably get people in the eye.
Probably impale someone.
Actually, that's probably what he does to piss people off. If John's getting in his face, just turns around and blows like that, and he's like, you dirty bastard. Oh, that's right in my eye. Oh, God,
I've been Sambora'd.
Oh, God, I'm going to have bloody pink eye again, Sambora, you bastard. Oh, God, that's so gross. By the way, your breath smells like fucking dog eggs. Anyway,
that
probably did happen. We keep the faith. Yeah, it's all right. But it was the Bon Jovi I'd tuned out of him. But I like the old Bon Jovi. You didn't need the new one.
Yeah, the only song that I liked from the new one is I do have a good like of it. It's My Life. I like that track.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
that's a good one.
I'll give you that.
Anything else? Bed of Roses and all that rubbish. Like, no, just dreadful.
Schmaltzy bit, that one.
Number 10 is People Every Day by Arrested Development.
Yes, as soon as you hear it, you're like, I'm not even going to, if I even think about what it sounds like, it's going to be in my ears for the next month. So, anyway, go and listen to it if you want an earworm.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right. It's all right.
What isn't an earworm is in at number 13 because this is Skin of My Teeth by Megadeth.
Crap.
Bloody rubbish. His voice is dreadful. Awful. It's an awful song, this.
It's really shit. And he talks weird at the start, doesn't he? He's like, how you doing? Where are we today? Stop doing those weird grunty sounds, you freakazoid.
He can't help it. Part of his act.
Crap.
But this is a rubbish song. And at number 16 is Nothing to Fear by Chris Rea.
Yeah.
Coming in Your Ear.
I think I'd be living in fear of that. I get him and Leonard Cohen confused.
I can hear that. My thing is, if he's not driving home for Xmas or on the road to hell, I'm just not interested.
Yeah, true. If he's not going somewhere or coming back from something, what's the point?
Yeah, just don't care. I mean, it's sad that he's done. I mean,
all right. Rest in peace, Mr. Rea.
Yeah, a bit of a national treasure and everything, but game. But this isn't a very good song. Or maybe it is, and it's just not for us. I don't know. In at number 23 is It Will Make Me Crazy by Felix.
Bet you hated that, didn't you?
Yeah, chart dance shite.
It was, yeah. It was properly heading for the Pier 39s, the Ritzes, the whatever they're called.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
In number 25 is Erasure-ish, A Little Respect, Stop by Bjorn Again.
This was weird.
This broke my head.
The whole thing of this was weird.
Yeah. Do you want to explain it?
It's an ABBA tribute band covering an Erasure song. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Because last time we had Erasure covering an ABBA song, but now we've got an ABBA tribute band. I mean, it's pretty amazing that a tribute band would even get this far in the chart, really. And they're not. I mean, I don't know whether they're a good ABBA tribute or not. I didn't get the impression they were from this song, but they weren't singing an ABBA song. So what do I know?
No, I mean, it's like an ABBA tribute covering an Erasure. The circle is now complete, isn't it?
Well,
now only Bjorn is the master or something.
I mean, technically speaking, and I don't want to get all technical about it, but technically speaking, when you are a covers band and you cover another band, you are not an ABBA tribute band, you are an Erasure tribute band. Just saying.
Yeah. And also they changed the tune to this in the chorus. Don't do that.
Don't do that. It's a good song, actually. I mean, A Little Respect is a great song.
A Little Respect is brilliant, yeah. But don't muck about with that chorus.
No, don't do that. It's a fool's errand, especially if you're dressing up as ABBA but singing an Erasure song, because you're not, by this point, you're not an Erasure, not an ABBA covers band. Sorry to burst your bubble, Bjorn, again, but at this point you were Erasure-ish. That was actually what you should have called yourselves. That's what your cover band was called, and you weren't very good. So take that to the bank.
Yeah, I feel this song should have been erasured.
Very good. Erasure-ish. Is that Sean Connery, how we would say? Would you like erasure? Erasure-ish. I'm erasure-ish.
Maybe. Number 27 is Miserere. Miserere. I don't know how to pronounce that. How do you pronounce that?
It's Miserere.
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 Miserere. By Luciano Pavarotti. I don't know what it is.
It was big in Italy. This huge. Zucchero was a huge Italian singer, songwriter, star of the.
Apologies to any Italians, but I don't know how to pronounce that. There's too many ERs going on.
Yeah, Miserere. I don't know. Anyway, it's one of them sort of songs where Pavarotti sings really loudly and obnoxiously and smiles a lot behind his little beard. And then for the first time, I watched this feeling that he was a bit like the guy out of The Vanishing. I'm like, oh God, was he the guy that made that woman disappear in The Vanishing? It was Pavarotti all along.
Pavarotti did it.
Yeah, it was Pavarotti. Bloody
Last
hell.
thing she heard as he piled on the dirt was Nessun Dorma.
Yeah, exactly. Although, spoilers. But more importantly, he was dressed like a bit of a clown, wasn't he, the other guy, Zucchero? And it's not often you see Pavarotti with clowns. Not always.
No, we all been there, bathing them, but this is rubbish.
Bathing them, washing them down, bathing them, keeping them clean.
Wiping off the spaghetti.
I wonder where that was going for a minute then.
And it was spaghetti. It was Italian.
Thank God, I was on the edge of my seat for a minute then.
Number 28 is Liberation by Liberation.
Very house of its time, this. Very housey.
Yeah, I thought I recognised this, but then it was just because it all sounds the same.
Yeah, it's just not it's not really chart material. I doubt it's got in the chart. I don't know. Enough people thought it was a good idea, I guess, but no.
And at number 29 is Always Tomorrow by Gloria Estefan.
I'm still crying because when I heard that, it made me weep for Don't Stop Crying.
It's written in the key of D minor.
Oh, it's totes emotion, isn't it? That goodness. I mean, even for Gloria Estefan, who's normally got kind of a very, a Gloria Estefan sounds like something you'd shout in church. So
true. I'm certainly no Estefan of hers, though.
No, over time she's just become quite boring, isn't she?
Yeah.
Terrible, really.
Yeah. Number 40 is There's a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths.
No, you got to say it properly. Come on.
There's a light that never goes out. There is a light that never goes out.
Yeah, it's that.
I live a double-decker bus.
That one, isn't it?
Just stop whining. God's sake, man.
Yeah.
Also, is this song about the sun?
Contingency plan. Well, is it? I suppose it is, yeah. The light never goes out. I thought he's just singing about contingency planning, really, And if a double-decker bus should, run over both of us, like just contingency planning all the time.
To die by your side.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh.
Good guitaring, though. What we were saying about the Smiths.
Good guitaring. Hate the singer.
Yeah.
In at number 46 is 99.9 Degrees F by Susan Vega.
Yeah, not by this point. She's not. She's more Suzanne Vague, I think.
It's gone a bit weird at this point, and I'm not a big fan of this period where it's all noises and stuff. That in Liverpool was like a one-off on that album. It all sounded behind like this.
Yeah, it did.
And also why they tried to turn her into Betty Boo in the video.
She has got that sharp bob, hasn't she, going on? Yeah, very Betty Boo bob. That very Betty Boo bob.
It's not what Susan Vega is.
She didn't need that look.
No, it's very strange. I watched that video. I was like, oh.
Apparently, they call that haircut the revenge haircut for women.
Do they? Why?
Don't know what it's called. Okay. I think it's to do with a lot of the times when there's been a breakup between a boyfriend, a girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. If it's been a tumultuous breakup, the wife person, and normally it's the guy that's done something stupid, probably. She's as a revenge, they often go off and get like a drastic haircut change, and that's often the choice of haircut they go for.
The sharp bob.
Yeah, the sharp bob, and then they often then go and get like a super toned in the gym, get the kind of revenge body they call it, don't they, and things like that. So,
Not revenge going on here.
Guys do it as well though, but guys don't look quite the same when they get a bob there like that. I mean,
remember Gary's?
Yeah, I didn't ever want to think about his revenge body, but yeah, I remember when he had that haircut. Yeah, when he had that sharp bob, but
he did a revenge bob, but it was the wrong kind.
Yeah, he inverted it. He had an inverted bob, but he had a reverse inversion. So
I just meant he took a shit in someone's door.
Well, he'd have done that.
That's his revenge bob.
And his hairstyle would have meant that he had the long bit was at the front, and then he just had nothing at the back.
He could have done that. He's been known to be a bit off the wall sometimes with his haircuts.
Hence why we thought he had curtains.
Yeah, that's where we he's putting his jacket on backwards, wasn't he? And
He
just
used
walk
to put
along
his
sort of
jacket
thing
on
with,
backwards.
like, scare people because I think he had no face.
I think the turning point was when his mum bought him them little tiebacks for his hair, like you get on curtains in the lounge, like little ones with tassels on, little rope tiebacks, and he just hung them off his ears and was able to pull his hair back like a centre parting curtain. It's quite nice. It looked nice. It looked like he was quite well groomed when he had that look.
It all got a bit much when he had those sort of pull strings on the side of his head so he could pull them aside there, wasn't it?
Yes, he did have the drawstring effect, didn't he, for a while? That short-lived drawstring he had, it was annoying. If he didn't want to talk to you, he just closed his drawstring. Oh, for God's sake, he's done it again. So rude. So rude.
Am I talking to the back of his head or the front? I don't know. He's got no face.
When he used to tell a joke, he'd if the joke didn't go well, he'd just close the curtains on himself.
Just like the drawstring back up.
Yeah.
His performance is over.
Sorry, Gary. We digress massively. But you did have that haircut, and those things did happen. For real.
It did. In at number 51 is Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog.
Eddie Vedder was in it, wasn't he? And like you said, a few others. I thought it was pretty good. Wired. It's not a band I did a lot of, actually. So
Temple of the Dog. Well, basically, this is Chris Cornell and essentially, I put a bit here, but it's essentially sort of Pearl Jam before they were Pearl Jam, released this kind of teamed up with Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder singing sort of vocals as well. Pre Pearl Jam, and they released this in a sort of an album as well. But if you've got Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder singing vocals in a band, Jesus Christ, and all the sort of guitarists and drummers and stuff out of Pearl Jam, it's like that's going to be pretty good. And I'm surprised. I didn't realize it was so Pearl Jam heavy actually. Temple of the Dog, I'd have heard of them and stuff, but I just knew it was Chris Cornell. So I'm going to go listen to this because I've not heard it.
It was a good song.
It is a good song. 25th of October, in at number 10 is Run to You by Rage.
More song murder, isn't it, that?
Is this a cover? Was this a cover that Brian Adams?
Yeah, it's a dance cover of Run to You, yeah.
I couldn't tell. It was awful.
Yeah,
I don't think I could put up with enough seconds of it to realise what was going on.
It was hard to get past the cheap synthesizers they'd used. I mean, could just never define them. Bloody Timu. Jeez.
With that keyboard you bought.
That's the point. We need to get that sent off. Bloody,
we need to get that. Have you not sent it to Mike yet?
No, I haven't. Apologies, Mike. I literally haven't had time to just package it up and send it. I'll make sure I get onto that this week.
Yeah. Or you can wait. We can bring it to you at Zap Live.
Yeah, I want to send it. It needs to arrive. It needs to arrive in the post. It needs to open it and have the pleasure of opening it.
It does. Yeah, we'll get it to you.
Yeah, we will.
Well, Graham will. And at number 14 is Super Mario Land, featuring MC Mario by the Ambassadors of Funk.
The Ambassadors of something, all right. It's rubbish.
Yeah, it's not very good, was it? Not very good at all. And at number 20 is To Love Somebody by Michael Bolton.
Yeah, I found a live version of that. His hair was crazy. Just hair everywhere. So much hair.
I know. He said it at the beginning. I was like, he says, I feel good tonight. I was like, ugh. I don't want you to be. I didn't when listening to this.
No.
I didn't feel good at all.
Bolter.
Yeah, maybe this is just a sort of Cylon welcoming song. Maybe that's all it is.
I hope it is that.
Yeah. To love somebody, to bomb somebody's planet. At number 26 is Cold by Annie Lennox.
Powerful vocals, dreary song.
Very dreary. I was going to say exactly the same. It seemed like it was filmed in 17th century Prussia.
Yes, very much so.
So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. They went back in time somehow. In at number 30, very, very different. This is Teeth Grinder by Therapy. They're still in their pre-going nowhere, nothing, trouble gum era when they were like very abrasive.
I thought it was quite an interesting track, that. I quite liked it.
Yeah, it is a good song. It is a good song.
Yeah, interesting band, Therapy. And I remember listening to that chap on that podcast that you really like, the
Pop Collaborate and Listen. Yeah,
Pop
Chris
Collaborate and Listen.
He's a big fan of their early stuff.
He's a big fan of their early stuff. So, I mean, I imagine he's got quite a lot to say about Therapy. He does periodically bring them up on their podcast. And I've always quite like what I've heard. I know everyone goes back, there's the one track everyone remembers them for, but I thought that was actually a really good track by them. So, made me want to hear more, I have to say.
Yeah, it's you'll see a difference if you listen to their early stuff and then you listen to Troublegum, the album. They took a different. They went a bit more commercial.
Different path. Yeah, different route. Okay.
And at number 34, talking of commercial, it's Would I Lie to You by Charles and Eddie.
Would I lie to you? You probably would.
Yeah, what is this? So why was it so popular?
It was really popular, wasn't it? I don't know. Charles and Eddie must be just popular guys.
Must be. Number 35 is Give Me Your Body by the Chippendales. This was so bad.
Awful.
In every
Awful.
way. Every way.
Awful thing. It made me think of that stupid scene in there's a, for God's sake, why did I even say that? Why did I even enter the idea in my mind that there was a film that this was in? It's the...
Did it star Madeleine Stowe?
No, we don't have anyone shouting at us this time. I feel sorry for that guy who was shouting at us. It's the bachelor party movie, and there's a sequence in that where they go to all the women in the bachelor party. Not that bachelor.
About
women
Magic
go to a
Mike?
club. No, not Magic Mike. The film Bachelor Party.
Oh, the film Bachelor Party. I thought they were at a bachelor party. What I thought you said.
No.
Sorry.
In the film Bachelor Party, the
Tom
women
Hanks
go
one.
to a yes. The women go to a club where there's these strippers, and that's where she encounters the guy called Meat. But different story. But there's the strippers dancing to Devo's track and they're doing this kind of striptease, and that's that Chippendales sort of thing, and that was sort of that, and it reminded me of that, the video, because I found some footage of them on Top of the Pops, and it's just, they wonder why toxic masculinity exists. Now we know where it began.
Yeah, it was always awful. Bloody awful.
Awful nonsense.
Yeah. In at number 36 is Wherever I May Roam by Metallica.
Classic Metallica, really, isn't it? Just, by the numbers, really, for them. It's better than most of the crap we've listened to for this episode. So
Yeah, I thought it was quite funny having this on and Megadeth in the same batch of singles. One band has moved on, one has not.
yeah, true.
Just goes on forever, though, this track. Like Sad
It
But
does.
True. It seems to, it's going to end. Oh, don't ever. Sad
Yeah,
But
yeah.
True, just like, I'm sure I've been listening to it for 10, 15 minutes, and then it goes dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
and
true.
it kicks
But
in again.
You're surprised by this? You've heard of Metallica, right?
I
All their
have.
songs do that.
Yeah, but they do, but those two songs seem to have these time dilation effects.
Well, like Master of Puppets doesn't. I've been sat in Gulliver's with you, and we've got through 7 pints, and it's still going. Like, is that song even changed? It's Master.
But it's got some pace to it at least.
Yeah,
It's like-
true. Yeah, they are thudders,
Freddy.
aren't they?
Yeah. It's like drum, drum. Anyway, finishing off, number 39 is Do You Believe in Us by John Cicada.
Yeah.
Arashite.
Aren't cicadas a type of insect, a bug?
That's a cicada, isn't it?
So it's the same thing. I was going to say, because he's done pretty well if he is. And it's just quite hard to get a record deal for most insects these days.
That is
Flea
true.
managed it, though. Flea managed it. Hey.
God. He just has to avoid David Icke, probably.
Why?
Because he'll think he's a sort of insect in a human body, and he'll think there's something weird about him.
God, I'm with you now. For some reason, I was thinking David Icke was an anteater. I don't know what was going on in my mind.
Well, he'll have to avoid Nobby. Nobby!
No, yeah, okay, right.
Let's get the albums out of the way. It's Christmas on the way, and the students are back at university, I think is the message here.
Yeah, it's very true, yeah.
4th of October, in at number 1 is Automatic for the People by R.E.M. This is very big.
Yeah.
6 big singles on it. We all know about them. We've probably gone through them all. In at number
Yeah.
2 was Us by Peter Gabriel, his 6th studio album.
6, wow, okay.
It was the follow-up to, well, he did a thingy, but this is the follow-up to So, which made me think, are all his albums just 2-word titles? I don't know. Maybe they are.
Yeah, I didn't realise he'd been in a relationship with Rosanna Arquette. What a strange world
Where
we're
have
in.
you been?
I know. What do I know?
I know, God's sake. He was at the dinner party with us the other week. He's telling us
Oh, that's right. God, he was, yeah.
it. But you were just, he had his Inverse My Weekend again, so you weren't listening. And
No,
Gary had
I'll
pulled
do
his
it.
drawstring curtains closed, so you weren't looking at anything.
No, I drank too much J2O, and I had that Scotch egg, and it was making me have really, really weird flavoured burps. So I was trying to stay away from people that night.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. In at number 5 is Timeless, The Classics by Michael Bolton. That's a bit thingy, innit? Of yourself,
Possibly,
innit?
possibly a timeless welcome committee.
But I'm just thinking, calling it The Classics. Like you big-headed git.
Well, yeah, he is, though. He has got a massive head.
He has. He's
So-
got to fit all that hair on.
Exactly. If all that hair takes a big head, there's no way around it.
Absolutely. That'd just fall off a smaller head.
It's a wonder his neck had snapped with all that pressure.
Maybe a Cylon neck brace would help him.
Yeah, just put in one of them helmets. That's why they've got them helmets. They don't have necks to the Cylons. That's why.
They don't. In at number 6 is Back to the Light by Brian May. Back to the
Yeah.
Darkness.
It was this album, yeah, like you said, he needed something to do, but it was basically because it had Too Much Love Will Kill You and Driven by You on it. So, and then what was interesting is I didn't realise that Headlong and I Can't Live With You were meant to be on that album. And then when he heard Freddie Mercury singing them, he realised how good he was. I'm like, yeah, why didn't you realise that for all of them?
Yeah, not release this.
Not release
You
your
had enough
crappy,
money,
horrible-
Brian. You had enough
Everything
money.
I do is driven by you. Ooh, God, even thinking about it now makes me shiver.
Yep. In at number 10 is The Greatest Hits by Police.
That's a great. That is a greatest hits. That
I mean, it's
is-
going to be in it. It's going to be.
Yep.
Let's not beat around the bush. That would be brilliant. But it's like I said, Christmas is coming. In at number 12 is Experience by The Prodigy.
Yeah, that's it. They're out there. The first one. This isn't the one that I like this, but it's got one foot in rave, and it's just not the version of The Prodigy I'm into. But you can know where it's going with this. It's still not quite there, as we've said, I think, about all of them. But no, this is a band that band, whatever you would call them, I grew to really, really, really like later down the line. And it wasn't that long after this. Then we to 95 when I saw them live, 95, 96 when I saw them live in Derby. And that was a moment, let me tell you. So, yeah. Good.
Can you imagine? And at number 14 is Yes Please by Happy Mondays.
No thanks.
Yeah. I'm not having it. Thank you very much. Go away. In at number 18 is Happy in Hell by the Christians. That's a bit of a contradiction in terms, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure that what's going on there. I'm thinking maybe that the Christians are not so happy, I think.
Are they maybe trying to tell us something? I don't know. In at number 19 is Stigma by EMF. They had a second studio album, Graham.
Follow up to an album that was called Schubert Dip. How pretentious is that?
Yep.
Oh dear, I've never heard anything from this album, and I'm never going to. If anyone tries to play it, I'm going to throw it away.
Got a song on it called "It's You That Leaves Me Dry."
Ugh.
In at number 30, let's move on. In at number 33 is Our Time in Eden by the 10,000 Maniacs. Couldn't tell you anything about them.
No, I don't know much about it.
11th of October, straight to number 1 was Symbol by Prince and the New Power Generation.
Yeah, 14th album. The official title of the album is an unpronounceable symbol depicted on its cover, which Prince copyrighted under the title Love Symbol No. 2 and adopted as his stage name from 1993 to 2000 to protest his treatment by Warner Brothers Records, which had refused to steadily release his back catalogue of unreleased music. They couldn't because there wasn't enough CDs in the world.
That's true.
Which he claimed trademarked his given name for promotional purposes. The release has been referred to under such titles as Love Symbol, Symbol Album, or Symbol. There you go. And obviously the two singles we've heard, Sexy, MF, and obviously My Name is Prince. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Number 10 is Kiss This by the Sex Pistols. Best of compilation. Christmas is coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 17 is The Revenge of the Goldfish by Inspiral Carpets, their third studio album.
Yeah, touring with Sunscream, which is kind of ironic.
Ironic, yeah. Students are back at uni. And at number 18 is Broken by Nine Inch Nails. This is a great EP album.
Yeah, Landmark. That is
really good.
Great, one of the all-time great EPs, that.
Yeah, it's got Broken and Last on it and stuff like that. So it's fantastic. Absolutely.
Yes,
fantastic.
it is. I remember Gary playing that. I remember he probably still owns the EP. I'm pretty sure he does. I remember him having that and playing it, and I think he's quite proud to own it. So
I think he probably will because I had it, and then when I gave him all my CDs, didn't I? So
yeah. Well, to be fair, I've sneaked into his house and I've been slowly nicking his stuff. So we might not have it now. Sorry, Gary.
You just have to be careful because when he snores, sort of thing, he blows his hair up. You just have to just pull the drawstring back down to make sure it goes back over his eye.
You have to be careful because at the minute he's got a cold, so it's not so bad. But I don't know. He's one of those people. I don't know if you've ever been around him when he's got a cold like that, when he's asleep. But it sounds like you're in the middle of a bazaar in like a Turkish bazaar. Like, he goes. It's like little fanfares playing out of his nose. It was weird. But while he's doing that, of course, all of his stuff's fair game, I like to think, and nobody's putting up any fight. Nobody.
No, I imagine
his wife's in fact, his wife opened the door and let me in. She did, yeah. She was like,
take it.
She said, take all you want. That's what she said. Take whatever you like. You can have it. It doesn't matter to me. Which was nice.
He can't listen to it anyway.
No.
He's got too many. He's got too many. There's not enough hours in the day for him to listen to everything.
Well, I actually added up some stats the other day of how, because obviously, he's got thousands of CDs, and it turned out there were about it would stretch some some distance, and you'd have to listen to, I think, to all of his CDs. He could listen to them for 4 hours a day for 2 years, and he would still not get through them.
No, there you go. And at number 23 is What Hits by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, indeed. What Hits. I'm not a fan. One song by them is okay. The rest of it, you can stick up your ass.
Yeah, Christmas is coming. Number 26 is Twice Upon a Time, the single, Susie and the Banshees.
Some good tracks on that.
Yeah, there will be. Number 39 is Piece of Cake by Mudhoney, their third studio album.
Interesting stuff, Mudhoney. Interesting.
Yeah. Number 43 is Connected by Stereo MCs.
You gotta get yourself connected. Yeah, that's on it.
Yeah, there you go. 18th of October, in at number 1 is Glittering Prize 8192, Simple Minds compilation album.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
Yeah, number 2, it kept Erotica. Number 2 is Erotica by Madonna.
Yeah, erotic, that one.
Put your hands all over my body. That one.
Is that the one though, or is it that one? That's Erotica. It is that one. Is it that one?
I don't
Probably
know.
is.
In at number 7 is Once in a Lifetime, Sand in the Vaseline by Talking Heads. Compilation album, Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Sleepwalking isn't at number 27 by Magnum, the 9th studio album.
This is before they sold the copyright to the name to the ice cream maker.
Yeah, true. In at number 33 is 1492, Conquest of Paradise by Vangelis.
Yeah. That one.
That one. In at number 37 is Music by Omar. I like your comment here. It's the Space Gun of album titles.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. In at number 53 is Dirt by Alice in Chains. I always wanted to like Alice in Chains, but every time I listened, they never clicked with me. Never. And I know loads of people who liked them, and I heard them a lot, but I just never got into them.
Same. I knew a few people that were into them. Okay, and I never got into them either, strangely enough.
No, I just couldn't gel with them.
No.
25th of October, in at number 8 is Great Expectations, Tasman Archer.
Yeah, Sleeping Satellite, blames everybody for the moonlit shit and all that.
Exactly. In at number 12 is Cooley High Harmony by Boys or Men.
Yeah, it's the end. That's it for them.
In at number 13 is Are You Normal? Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
Are You Normal?
Studio album. Number 15 is Blind by The Sundays. Their second studio album.
Gary said he liked them, didn't he, last week?
He did. For some reason. Into the Light, though, is at number 18 by Hank Marvin.
Legendary guitarist Hank Marvin reaching number 18, chance featuring instrumental rock and pop tracks.
As we've already heard, We Are the Champions.
Yep.
Dreadful. Jehovah Kill is at number 20 by Julian Cope, his 8th album.
Yeah, album number 8.
Inspired by prehistoric monuments, the album features ancient pre-Christian heathen and pagan themes while commenting on the destructiveness of mainstream religion.
Laugh a minute, that.
Yeah, Riding High is at number 32 by Robert Palmer. It's clearly not. It's at number 32.
Yeah.
11th studio album.
So great. Yeah.
Number 33 is All the Way from Tuam by the Saw Doctors.
Never liked the Saw Doctors.
No. In at number 37 is 3 years, 5 months and 2 days in the life of Arrested Development by Arrested Development.
Good album, if you go with it.
And finally, in at number 57 is The Epic Years by Shakin' Stevens.
He's never had any epic years. What's he talking about?
That word epic is carrying a lot of weight there. Or is it just when he was trying to make the Unreal Engine? That's all I can think.
Yeah. Yeah, Shakin' Stevens. All right. Epic. It's not the word I would have used, but okay.
No.
Harpic, maybe.
The Harpic years. Just pour it down the toilet. Hey. Shaking, stop it. we all use what is it? Not Dettol. What's the other one?
Domestos?
Domestos, and it began with a D. See, I can't remember shit these days.
That guy's been shouting at his podcast again, isn't he? He's like, fuck Domestos, you bloody clowns.
Absolutely. To be fair, we because I use the Tesco own brand one. It just colours your toilet. Don't get rid of anything. Just colours your toilet.
Yeah, it just has a really strong smell of pine.
Yeah, but I use the yellow one.
Ah, yes, the yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow one. There we go. That's your music. We're going to go away, take a quick break. We still have one game left to come. And what a game that is. What a game. We'll be back in a moment to tell you all about it.
The novel Escape from the Commodore 64 by David Hearn is out now. Growing up in the 80s is a chore for Sarah, who feels misunderstood by her parents and badgered by Reese, her bothersome brother who incessantly prattles on about his treasured computer games. When Reese tells her one of the games tried to pull him inside the computer, she laughs off his fanciful fib. She waggles the joystick to disprove his fairy tale and is pulled into the computer. Now trapped in games she'd never had any interest in playing, how can she possibly beat them? With the help of feisty Nell, another trapped player, can Sarah find her way back home, or is it game over? An evil madman, a hostile planet, bloodthirsty robots, a never-ending throng of karate experts, and relentless digital soldiers will do their best to ensure Sarah never escapes. Available from Amazon and all good online retailers, find out if there's a way out of the beige bread bin of betrayal for Sarah in Escape from the Commodore 64.
And we are back. One game to tell you about in this part. And Graham, that pleasure is all yours to tell us all about Count Duckula 2.
Or as I like to call it, Count Succula.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay, $3.99 was a budget price, 55% right in the middle. Ooh. This was published by Alternative Software. Now, they've actually got quite a catalogue of games, haven't they, the Alternative gang? Things like Aftermath, Handicap, Bangers and Mash. Do you remember that? We've got Bangers and Mash. That's coming up, I think. Australian Rules, BMX Ninja was one of theirs. They've had a few. Confusion, they've had over the time. And they also did the original Count Duckula, which this is the sequel to, obviously. Mm-hmm. Interesting, really. And this was Cosgrove Hall, of course, their copyright. Well, that will be, won't it? Because that's who the cartoon was created by. Coded, but here is Mike Hutchinson. Oh, it's Mike Hutchinson. No, look, Mike.
What did he do?
Hard Driving, Line of Fire, and Final Fight. 3 of the crappiest games we've ever come across on the C64. It doesn't bode well, this. The graphics are by Andrew McCarthy. He did Hard Driving, Line of Fire, and Final Fight. 3 of the crappiest games we've ever come across so far in this podcast. Don't bode well.
You remember them.
You remember them. Musician Dave Lowe. He did Hard Driving, Line of Fire, Final Fight, but he also did Power Drift. So Power Drift was all right. The other 2 weren't involved in Power Drift at all in the code or graphics. No. So this is a direct sequel to the first Count Duckula game, which was called Count Duckula in No Sax Please, We're Egyptian, randomly. That came out on budget back in 1989. That game was coded by Stuart Chopper Commander Cook. Actually, that one. Graphics for that one, Pete Overlander Tattersall. And we didn't review it because it was never reviewed in Zapped, though I can confidently say after a quick check-in, though it had some okay graphics, it was a bit easy and it had a really annoying 50-second music loop of the Duckula theme, which would have driven a saint to the sea. So there you go, summary. So what to do? Make an inferior sequel that's more expensive. That seems like a plan, doesn't it? Why not? And then get a team of people to do that very thing whose track record isn't classically great, is it? Yes, that's what you call living the dream. So what is Count Duckula then? Well, according to the World Wide Web of information, Count Duckula itself is a British children's animated comedy horror television series created by British studio Cosgrove Hall Productions and produced by Tem Television as a spin-off of Danger Mouse, a series in which an early version of the Count Duckula character was a recurring villain. Count Duckula aired from the 6th of September 1988 to the 16th of February 1993 across 4 series. In all, 65 episodes were made, each about 22 minutes long. It's a long time, that. The series aired on Nickelodeon in the United States, who billed it as an original program. All have been released on DVD in the UK, while only the first series has been released in North America. A new version of the original villainous Count Duckula appeared in the 2015 reboot series of Danger Mouse, but still being a vegetarian like a good Duckula. Was it popular? No idea. Sounds like it was. Though I like Danger Mouse, I was never into the spin-off series, most of these, and by this point I was well into things like The Simpsons. So, okay, what's the story then? Well, I found a bit of blurb from here and there. I pieced it together from the various different translations, because the version I found was in German and Italian. So it says, and I quote, Count Duckula, a vegetarian vampire duck, attaches a rocket to one of the castle towers and blasts them into space. But before launch, Duckula accidentally drinks a mysterious Nanny's trunk potion, understandably since it looks like blood, which makes him immune to danger, though only for a limited time. Fortunately, the formidable Terence, Count Duckula's loyal servant, is always nearby and ready to help. The goal is simple. Collect all the coins and reach the exits of each planet. However, all the strange creatures, dolls and teddy bears are trying to stop Duckula. There's only one solution. Duckula, Igor and Nanny must cooperate to collect all the coins and escape each level. When things get tricky, Tremendous Terence can assist if you call him in time. The game is therefore split into 2 sections. There is the game, I guess you call it the asteroid section or asteroid field. Here you have to guide the space turret through the asteroid field by skillfully, that's a word, moving to avoid asteroids or blasting them to pieces by firing electric bolts at them with the turret lightning conductor. The negotiation of the asteroid field is made more difficult by the appearance of satellites, and these must also be avoided. Duckula must carefully navigate through an asteroid field, avoiding electric shocks from tumbling asteroids. Watch out for shadows that make navigation harder. Precision timing is essential. This is all from the blurb. And then it says planet, the toy world / gameplay planet cute. Duckula must overcome various obstacles and hostile toys, collect coins scattered through the level, use ketchup as a weapon against enemies, avoid hazards and traps. To overcome difficult sections, Duckula can call Tremendous Terrence for help. Nanny can also assist by providing energy-restoring items like broccoli butter sandwiches. You have to guide Duckula past various obstacles and cute toys to find the lightning conductor. On the way, you collect cereal packet tops, which help Duckula become like his hero, Tremendous Terrence, for a short time, and will be invulnerable to the effects of cuties. You can also pick up bottles of ketchup that Duckula can squirt at the cuties, rendering them temporarily harmless. Duckula can call on Tremendous Terrence to help him when he gets past really awkward obstacles, but only for a limited number of times. And when Duckula meets up with Igor, he is refreshed with broccoli sandwiches. Finally, if you have I'll read it as it is. Finally, if you have successful kept Duckula from becoming cute, the lightning conductor is seen, but a large lovable puppy toy is in the way. Igor has already done all he can, and Tremendous Terrence cannot be contacted at the moment. That just leaves Nanny. Will she be able to get Duckula past the puppy and retrieve the lightning conductor? Will you care if that happens? And then the final hint and tip. In the main game, you have plenty of time, so don't rush. Time your jumps so the movement of the platforms, which follow a set pattern. Fire sauce at cuties to get past them. Top up your supply of sauce by collecting sauce bottles. Collect 4 cereal packet tops to gain temporary vulnerability. If you find a screen too difficult, call Tremendous Terrence, but remember, you can only use him once.
Just the once.
So, bloody hell. You'll get a title screen for this. It's a weirdly Spectrum-looking version of the title graphics from the cartoon with Ducky in the middle. It's crap. I'm just going to leave it at that. Crap Spectrum-looking crap. You get to the title screen, such as this for the game then, which is just it says Duckula 2 at the top, and then you've got a load of text, and then fire to begin, and you can change the difficulty mode. It won't make a difference if you do, because it won't change how hateful this is. It's a game of 2 parts, really. Like I said, a half-assed top-down shooter and then a platform adventure section-ish. Okay, when you start the game, the UI for the game is the same for both parts. Across the bottom third of the screen, you'll see 3 images. You as Count Duckula, Igor, and Nanny. And to the right of that, well, there's your score, your energy, I think, in the shape of a bottle of blood, and the objects you have picked up. I think it's kind of hard to tell. The facial expressions of the character of the image does change. I'm guessing if you take hits, you'll see him sort of Duckula wince. So there is that. Above that, in both instances, is the game window. Part 1 is a lame top-down shoot-'em-up, like some crappy version of Crazy Comets. The sprites look weird. You're controlling some kind of turret ship. You'll be bombarded by meteors and satellites, which you can shoot at with lightning bolts and mostly avoid. Shooting them releases more stuff to shoot at, so just probably don't. Or just stay alive long enough, and eventually you'll come to the end of this nightmare, and there's a confusing animation, and then you'll head off to Planet Cute Toy World, whatever that is.
I don't know.
I don't know either. The second section is more aligned. The first section, by the way, seems to serve literally no purpose in this game whatsoever. I'm not even sure why it's there.
No.
The second section is more aligned to the first game, actually, the first Duckula game. So oddly, it's not as good, though. The aim is to control Duckula around the platforms, obstacles, and enemies as you collect coins on the quest for the lightning conductor. All the while, you need to prevent Duckula from becoming too cute, essentially by avoiding stuff. Duckula is recognizable, at least here, looking a lot like the sprite from the first game, and you control him with the joystick. Left and right equals move, up is jump, fire is shoot sauce, ew. Down and fire is summon Tremendous Terrence. The backgrounds here look bloody terrible, though, don't they? They're nowhere near as good as the first game, and that isn't saying much, but they're nowhere near as good as that. They're mostly mosaic or mini mosaic blocks in pink and white that are used to assemble the structures, and then between them are badly realized platforms, or I guess, which have terrible outlines that kind of ping up and down and around, as opposed to the more traditional sense of smooth animation and moving sprites around. The initial parts see you having to traverse these, which will mean that you A, fall off and die a lot, and B, touch an enemy and die a lot, and C, lose your lives a lot, and then D, get pissed off with that repeatedly. I suppose what I'll say, there's no in-game music here like in the first game, so that at least means you don't want to put coat hangers in your ears. Instead, you have mostly silence interrupted by the occasional bloop and bleep. So no atmosphere then really at all, which is, considering it's a horror comedy game, stupid. Enemies of various types seem scattered arbitrarily, and even though you can shoot sauce at them, they seem to instantly respawn. Also, touch them, even breathe near them, and you're dead. There's also some really weird, dubious background graphics in this. I found one image in the which I posted in our show notes of, I'm not even sure what it is. It's some kind of crazy gingerbread man in dungarees. And then next up, there's this weird image of a woman's face with "We want you" and a giant. I'm not sure what she's been doing. I've got an idea of what it is. I think looks like she's been giving someone. Someone's been getting filleted. I don't think it'll catch on though.
Yeah, it's a bit dubious.
It's a very dubious image that. So I got this thing. So on it goes in this flick screen junk pile of badly realized character graphics and sprites. Every screen follows a similar pattern and they all feature the same annoying designs. It's like a shit impossible mission. Eventually you'll make it to the eye-destroying kind of cave section here. The background reaches epic levels of retina challenging blocks, tiles, and smiling stalagmites and stalactites, as well as barely visible platforms and enemies, it will feel like your eyes have just vomited. There are pickups along the way, things like corn, labelled corn, which aren't mentioned anywhere in the instructions at all. These will boost something or other. You won't care. You can also collect or be given the broccoli sandwiches at some point, and which allows you to have extra powers or terrances or whatever the hell it does. It doesn't really seems arbitrary, really. Eventually, you will move into more blocky levels of crap platforms until you reach the end of this miserable experience once and for all. It's rubbish. Rubbish. A dull meander around boring, badly realised graphics and platforms where nothing particularly challenging happens outside of falling off things. If you encounter a difficult screen, you can summon terrants who will just fly you over it, and you get more of those via broccoli sandwiches at key moments. Therefore, it removes almost every hazard in the game, really. The ending you promised isn't there because the end boss isn't there. You can just walk off the game at the end, and that's the end of the game. So you just walk off the screen, and that's the end. So there is no boss. So they didn't even bother to do that. At some stage, the chaps responsible for this junk should have just had their Commodore 64s confiscated once and for all. Take them off them. Take them away. It's no good. Nothing good comes from them. They've tried.
Nope.
They proved what they proved. And this is no disrespect because you know what? People have different skill sets. Making Commodore 64 games, not for them. Go and do something else. I am absolutely certain that whatever you're doing right now is the thing you were meant to be doing. That's your good. This is not. This is just, you're just beating the living crap out of the C64 here and anyone that's really got any kind of affinity for it. So take the C64s off them, I think I say. This has the virtue of being a more expensive budget game than the flawed but better original. It defies belief that they made this game altogether shittier, but for more money. I mean, that's clever. That's clever marketing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they put that on the box, the game that's twice as shit as the original and will cost you more. Good luck with that. I suggest you leave this one on the junk pile of forgotten C64 rubbish and pretend it doesn't exist, which is what I'm going to do. This is the best advice I can give you. Or if you want to feel some semblance of joy, take a look at the Amstrad CPC version, which is by far worse. An utterly reprehensible piece of shit. If that's even possible to be worse, it is. They found a way. Trust me on that. If you really want to feel bad for Amstrad owners, go and take a look at Count Duckula 2. This should have scored less than 15%, less than 10%, maybe not even a score at all. Go and play CJ Elephant Antics or any of those other games that are on budget that are better than this. The only thing I can say you could do with this, if you still got the box, wipe your ass on it. Maybe you'll find some solace in that. Other than that, leave it alone. It ain't none of your business. It ain't none of my business. Leave it be. What about you?
I can't believe you didn't like this. No, I can. What in the name of all that is holy is this? And how did it get 55%? This made me hark back to the good old days of Lee Enfield and Win Bobner.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember them.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of this on any level. The first part is a shooter where, in true war games fashion, the only way to win is not to play.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Don't do anything. Because shooting stuff just makes things worse. And then you realise that the asteroids are just dropping down where you are. So you can just spawn one, move to the side, spawn another, move back. Spawn another, move back. Just do that until that bit ends.
Yeah,
this ain't a game. Easy. What the hell is this shit? And then why are the portraits at the bottom spinning? What the hell's going on with that UI? What does it mean? What does any of it mean?
Doesn't make any sense.
But, you think, okay, well, I'll get past that. Maybe it'll get better. But then you get to the platforming section and just all hope is lost.
Yeah.
All hope is lost. It's a car crash of a game, this. I think calling it a game is an insult to games. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Every screen is a horror. I just wanted it to end, so I just turned it off. Life's too short for shit like this. Burn it, throw away the key, go back in time, delete it from history. Do all the things we said about that other game the other week. What was that one? We looked at something that was dreadful as well the other week.
Oh, there's been which one? Which week? There's been loads of them.
I can't remember. What Bionic Ninja was it? It was that other shithole of a thing.
That football thing was rubbish. That was
that was it, yeah. God, what a
Fighting
horror.
soccer.
Yeah, save your screams and all that shit. The title screen may be uneasy, but its terrible use of character blocks and colour clash. Colour clash is hard to do on a C64. It's purposeful.
Not the way they do it.
It's just whatever. Nothing prepared me for this garbage. And those images, that's weird. There's subliminal shit going on in those images. It's really weird.
Somebody was drawing angry.
It's not. I mean, we've seen the one thing we have seen right this year is an inundation of platformers, right? And most of them have been not brilliant, not terrible. There's a fair to middling. There's loads of them in there. All those CJ Elephant Antics ripoffs and all those kind of stuff. Yeah, they're clearly not that tricky to make. But this, what the hell? That bit, I don't get it. I don't get the design in this. That bit where you have to sort of wait for the platforms to appear one after the other and just jump across them, going across. Then you might drop down and you'll die for some reason. I don't know.
Full egg.
Christ on a bike. Oh God, I'm dreading the worst game award in the bread bins.
We might have to do 2.
Just all of them. Just so many. I don't know if I'm going to be able to decide. But, it's going to be a hotly contested pile of crap because this is a pile of crap. £4 as well.
55%.
It's not worth 4p. No. You proved it. Hard driving. Line of fire.
Yep, just those two alone.
Final fight. I'll just get those guys in again. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, goodness. Are there any ones left or something?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're just doing it for a joke now. I don't know.
Well, they ain't doing it. They can't be doing it for the desire to make great games, can they?
Can be nothing there. There we go. Count Duckula poo. Rubbish. And that's it. We had 2 games and they still couldn't all be good.
Nope. It's the average of this podcast, I'm afraid. It's never going to change.
Or at least semi-decent.
No, there's nothing decent about Count Duckula 2.
No. And the thing is as well, right, because next week, so what we got coming up next week? Next week, we've got Slicks. So we've got 2 more budget games. We've got Slicks, which is supposed to be quite good, I think. We've also got Bangers and Mash, which scores lower than Count Duckula 2 at the moment. So I don't know what to expect for that.
That's not good.
No, I don't know what to do. But there you go. Anyway, that's it. I'm very sorry. I wish there were more games to play, but there haven't been more games to play. We'll try to do our best to.
It is what it is.
It's the mandate of the magazine, mandate of the podcast. We play what's there. So as we carry on, you can support the podcast as we carry on in the last few episodes. We have a Patreon. We will be obviously we're carrying on beyond the end of this pod, beyond the end of this. But you can go to patreon.com/Zapped to the Past if you wish to sign up. Please do. It helps us out. It keeps us running. Come join us. Get the episodes ad-free and early. Join the Discord. Things like that. And there'll be more when we actually switch over to the new thing. There will be something. We've got Ko-fi, ko-5/Zapped to the Past. So you can tip us a coffee there if you want.
Aye, do.
I've not been on the social medias much recently because I've been very busy. But if you do want to say hello, please do say hello and I will respond. That's about it. Shop, zappedtothe-past.shop if you want some Zapped to the Past shop stuff.
Yeah, go to the shop, zappedtothe-past .shop. Go and buy yourself a t-shirt. We've got some exciting announcements that we're going to be making soon. So watch this space because we've got something really big coming, which is going to be exciting and we're quite excited about. So we're going to that's a little bit of a teaser trailer for that. So just watch this space is what I'm saying. Yeah, we have indeed. And that'll be something to get excited about. These games, well, Nobby was good, but Count Duckula was so bad. So bad. Right, so on that note, it's probably a shorter episode because there's only so much we can cover. So there you go. So I think we'll sign off there because I need to go and have a think about Count Duckula 2, really. And I don't want to think about it.
No, but I think I might need to go talk to someone about it.
I'm going to go have a brown out, I think.
Yeah. So as ever, I have been Adrian Mills.
And I have been Graham Raddings.
And we will see you again next week. And you'll be listening to Zapped to the Past. And I don't know what I'm saying because Count Duckula 2 has sapped every kind of will out of my head. We'll see you again next week. Have a good week. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to the Zapped to the Past podcast. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the world of Commodore 64 games, as well as the music, films and TV from around the 1980s, driven, of course, by the issue of Zapped 64 magazine published at that time. We will return with a whole new batch of games and stuff to talk about next week. Until then, if you want to listen to or download previous episodes of Zapped to the Past, and why wouldn't you, they can all be found on our website at zappedtothepast.com, as well as being available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, Audible, Player FM, and, well, pretty much anywhere where we can upload them. By the way, we do always love to hear from our amazing listeners, so if you'd like to contact us about anything in the podcast or beyond, you can do so by emailing us at zappedtothepast@gmail.com. We're also active on Twitter under @ZappTothe, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and most social media platforms. Just search for Zapped to the Past and you'll find us. Oh, and if you like the podcast and what we're doing, please do like, share, review, rate us. It really helps. Something. Apparently, the Zapped to the Past podcast is written and produced by Adrian Mills and Graham Raddings and recorded at Flaky Bits 2.0 Studio. All opinions expressed are those of the writers, and while we indeed love Zapped 64 magazine, the Zapped to the Past podcast is not affiliated with it in any way. Stay safe, see you next time, and remember, we play these games so you don't have to.